Dancing, dancing non-stop, my dancing, dancing, dancing non-stop, my dancing, dancing, dancing non-stop, my dancing, 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 let me do body shocking body 始まり君はどうさあ来てここに来て Body shocking body 世界が回り出すさあ来てここに来て誰かのためじゃない私とフリーダム自分次第だからここにあ誰かのせいじゃない心もフリーダム所有は自分でしょわかるでしょもっと知りたい知りたい過剰なライフ今夢の中へもっと知りたい知りたい過剰なライフだから正気 Dancing, dancing non-stop my dancing, dancing, dancing non-stop my dancing, dancing, dancing non-stop my dancing, dancing, dancing let me do Venus, charming Venus 戦いながら行こうさあ見て今を見て Venus, charming Venus 世界は掴み取るさあ見て今を見て強気がほら本音孤独なパッション他に任せちゃダメ強気がほら本気危ういパッション誰もが他に売るでしょわかるでしょもっとあげたいあげたい唯一の love でも次が消える前にもっとあげたいあげたい唯一の love Feeling touch charming Venus誰かのためじゃない私とフリーダム自分次第だから Go go we are 誰 freedom かのせいじゃない心はフリーダム主役は自分でしょわかるでしょもっと知りたい知りたい過剰なら今夢の中もっと知りたい知りたい過剰ならだから正気 Dancing, dancing 君も dancing もっと知りたい知りたい過剰なライフ今夢の中もっと知りたい知りたい過剰なライフだから正気 Dancing, dancing non-stop my dancing, dancing, dancing non-stop my dancing, dancing, dancing non-stop my dancing, dancing, dancing let me do Dancing, dancing non-stop my dancing, dancing, dancing non-stop my dancing, dancing, dancing non-stop my dancing, dancing, dancing let me do Body shocking body 始まり君はどうさあ来てここに来て Body shocking body 世界が回り出すさあ来てここに来て誰かのためじゃない私とフリーダム自分次第だからここにあ誰かのせいじゃない心もフリー 強気がほら本気誰もが他にうでしょうわかるでしょもっとあげたいあげたい唯一の love でも月が消える前にもっとあげたいあげたい唯一の love feeling touch charming Venus誰かのためじゃない私と freedom 自分の信頼だから Go go we are freedom 誰かのせいじゃない心は freedom 主役は自分でしょわかるでしょもっと知りたい知りたい感謝をなら夢の中もっと知りたい知りたい感謝をならだから正気Dancing, dancing, 君も dancing もっと知りたい知りたい過剰な life 今夢の中もっと知りたい知りたい過剰な life だから正気 Dancing, dancing, non stop my dancing, 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 non stop my dancing, 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 non stop my dancing, 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 let me do
Hi everybody! Hello! Welcome. I made sure to set aside some time so we could yap a little bit first before we move into the thing. We don't have like my usual hour of yapping, but we got some time. Hi everyone! Hi Lucifer, hi JM, hi Ninja, hi Meat Shield. Hi, hi Hacker. I almost said Meat Shield twice because I reread your name because the chat moved. I've lost my place. Hi Turing, that's where I am. Ha! Hi Turing! Hi Ducky! Hi PSV! Hi Quinpool! Hi Chocolate Star! Hi Zardock! Hi Miro! Hi Jedi! Hi Steven, Jeffrey, Dylan over on YouTube. So, man, I'm all over the place, bro. I've had a day and a half. I've actually been awake since like noon.
Hi Angel
And that's surprising for me. I didn't sleep that great, but I'm here, and that's what matters. Hi Pitta! Hi Stale Toaster. So today we have something really fun. We're doing our first like talk show segment today.
Wolf Warrior cheered 15 bits Angel and early. What is this
Yeah.
universe?
I
Am I
had to
asleep?
be.
I sure hope not, that way I will miss chat party.
Why are you guys blue? You'll see. You'll see. The filter fucked up a little bit. You'll understand in a minute. It's not supposed to be doing the whole emote, so I might have to just change it. Cause it was supposed to just grab the main part of the overlay, but it done did a silly, which is interesting. Hi Zen, hi Annie. So I might swap it, though the blue emotes are actually kind of funny. They are kind of funny. Maybe I want to keep it. But it'll make sense soon. At least what the attempt was. Can you have a hug? Oh, I can't today. But I can give you a kiss. Mwah. There you go. See, my arms are kind of far away today. Blue Dodo. Your blue dabba dee dabba die. But yeah, so the plan today is we have two things. We're going to be starting with our special collab stream with Fifi and Artemis, where we rate your guys' injury stories.
Hi,
Now,
Angel.
just a reminder, if you have a weak stomach and don't do well with stories where people get a little bloody or hurt, you're in for a rough one. We do have a second part of the stream that starts at 9 p.m. It may start slightly sooner based on how things end, but I gave myself a little bit of extra time because the injury segment's only supposed to go for 2 hours. But if there's anything I've learned about talk show collabs, it's that everyone starts yapping. And then we all end up very late. So I have given us an extra hour that my guests don't know about, just in case we get a little too talkative. But the general concept is, we're gonna read out stories that you guys have submitted to a Google Doc that I put out the other day, and we're gonna rate it on a scale of weak, ouch, and brutal. Of course, whatever score it is that you're aiming for, that's your prerogative, and we'll see where it lands. And me and my co-hosts may have different opinions, but that is why there's 3 of us. So that way it shouldn't tie unless we all say something different, in which case that's gonna get a little funky. Chocolate Star, thank you for becoming a cherry brat. I appreciate it. I hope you've been well, by the way. So yeah, that's what it is. I've reviewed them, so I know a little bit of what's going on in there. I didn't get super detailed in my read through, but I did have to make sure that no one broke the rules and told stories that were like really bad. When I say really bad, I mean like there's no silly or funny aspect to them. It's just concerning. The do I need to call 911 kind of stories. And luckily most of them are pretty good. There are like 2 or 3 that I feel kind of missed the mark on understanding what I was trying to say. But what matters is that they're not as bad as I was worried about, so that's good. I'm glad to hear that, Chocolate Star. I'm glad to hear that you're doing a good job and that you're happy with it. That's what matters. Your stories are safe as they happened years ago? That's good. Yeah, most of the ones that were talking about the past were pretty good. But the way this is going to work is once I bring... I'm going to be putting this on like a BRB screen in a second, where you guys are kind of just going to wait and gather while me and the team set up. I know Fifi is streaming her side because she is finishing her subathon. I think today actually might be the last day of her subathon or cupathon. And then I know Artemis isn't streaming, but I need time to like get everyone on the screen, get everyone's sound working, make sure they can see the stuff. So we are going to be on that setup screen for a hot minute. And then once it starts, we have our 2 hours where we're going to try to go through the form pretty efficiently. We had 47 total responses, guys. 47 responses. That's a lot. So for us to get through them, we're gonna need to make sure that we don't get lost too often outside of the usual yapparonis that happen, because you know we're yapparonis. I may miss comments. If you guys do like gift subs and whatnot, I'll say thank you and whatnot, but I'm not gonna be able to go like super deep into it. That said, I need to figure out how to disable TTS. I just realized that. Wait a minute, I need to figure that out now before I pull everyone in. Bits and sharing. How do I do this?
Wolf Warrior cheered 15 bits. Speaking of injuries, I have friend that's ambulance guy and yeah, some of pictures he sends. Really great for when you eating.
Hold on. Alright, I'm gonna temporarily put it at something stupid, because I don't see how to turn it off.
Wolf Warrior cheered 15 bits. Time to talk smack until she mutes us chat.
So I've now put it at something stupid. It now costs $50 in order to use TTS.
Blaze _ Ace Grizz
Once it goes through.
501 ST cheered 15 bits. No, I just got here and Angel wishes to silence me forever.
Yeah, I have to, because it's gonna be a problem if it talks to if you guys talk over everyone constantly, and I can't respond to you guys because of having to stay on point. 5,000 bits. Yeah, you saw it. I can't figure out how to turn it off, so my workaround was that. That was my workaround. I just made it expensive. That's the workaround. It's the only thing I could think of. But yeah, okay. So I am going to start to bring everyone in. And I'm gonna put us on my BRB screen that I've made, which is really funny because I can't actually put us on the real BRB screen because I have specific settings there. Hi! So we're gonna just do this, and I'm gonna put this behind the hi.
Hi,
Unless, am I in front of the hi? That's a problem. Oh no, it's right there. Okay, there we go. All right, guys, let me get a few more settings ready, and then I'm gonna be disappearing into the void. You guys can just listen to the nice music in the background and have a good time, okay? Also, an important warning, if you do pay $50 to TTS while we're on this screen, you're gonna be really sad when nothing goes through. So that's my final warning, okay? Okay. Okay, everything is here, everything's working. I just gotta move this over to the form, and we're set. Oh, that only took 85 tries, but we actually made it work, and I'm very proud of us.
Yay!
All right, so hi
We've done
everybody! Thank you for waiting. I've got some lovely guests here with me. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
After you, Fifi.
Okay, hi guys, I am Fifi, a punk rock YouTuber, and I think Angel's a big cutie.
No, I think
I don't-
Fifi's a
True.
big cutie.
I mean, you're both pretty
no.
adorable.
You're a cutie. I guess you too, Artie.
I guess.
I
I
am a
guess you
pretty
do.
princess.
Pretty
No.
princess. The prettiest princess of all.
Well, you're more than a princess. You are a god.
That's true.
Sorry,
Am
getting
I a
ahead of
pretty
myself.
god?
You go.
Hello everyone, my name is Artemis Mythos. I am a corporate VTuber from Mythos HQ. Lunar god of the hunt. I do voice acting, singing, challenge stream gaming. I do things.
You like things.
We do like things, yes.
I do things, and occasionally stuff.
Oh, not the
Oh.
stuff. That's wild.
What
I
do
don't
we
think I
have to
know
scuff?
anyone. Oh god, he's a VTuber, of course.
That's true,
Right?
true. Things and
Specs.
stuff. I'm a VTuber?
Yeah, you are. That's what they're
Oh,
called.
VTubers?
I thought I was just trapped in this box.
Like, that's part of the job. It's kind of they go together. The box is part of the VTuber curse.
That's fair. That's understandable. These are dark times in the kingdom.
There are always dark times in the kingdom. Oh man. Hello. If you don't know me, my name is Angel Steps, and I'm your runaway angelic idol, here to avoid all my responsibilities by having a good time with my good friends. And today we're going to be rating your craziest injuries into 3 different categories. We have weak, ouch, and brutal. And frankly, for my stomach, I'm hoping they mostly land in weak. What about you guys?
You know,
I've seen some pretty killer skateboard injury things, so
Oh.
I think I could maybe handle it.
Yeah, that lands.
that would be.
Oh,
I'm
go ahead.
ready to see some. I'm ready to see some wild times. Fun but wild.
I'm hoping to walk away from the stream with mental scars.
Oh,
Hee hee!
That's your aim.
That's my aim.
Traumatized.
Trauma! But I guess this is my final warning for anyone who can't handle talking about like bones breaking or anything wound related. That's gonna be the next 2 hours. I don't know what to tell you, so
that's fair.
just that's your warning. And let me actually pull this into a different monitor because it's too small. I can't see it right.
We're gonna look at traumatizing stuff. Ooh, ooh.
Are we ready for the first
I
one?
guess Angel's goal by the end of this stream is to employ a therapist.
Yes. For all of you, not me. I'll be fine.
Yes.
I'll just deal with my mental trauma like all VTubers do. That's a joke. That's a joke. Please don't quote me on that. Please don't write the Google Doc. I do not want to see it on Twitter. All right.
Don't quote me.
Oh,
Don't
what
at
is-
me.
This is new.
is-
This one was not here when I. All right. Well, this was not here when we got 3 more submissions since we started. I'm gonna actually come back to this one since I haven't vetted it, just to
Okay.
be sure.
Oh my god.
Some of these are really long. Let's actually go from the bottom up because the starts small and builds up.
Okay.
And we love this one
Okay,
because
okay.
it's one sentence. So our first response was, I was moving and I picked up a box and somehow I ended up cutting myself with it. Yes, I got a cardboard cut. It's like a paper cut, but thicker. I still have the scar.
That's already reminded me of a story. But
You
one-
have a story based on that? Have you gotten a cardboard cut before?
Not exactly a cardboard cut, but a cut with a box cutter of sorts.
Oh no. Oh no.
Ugh. That's
Oh,
way
no.
worse.
I will say
Yeah.
that one's not a bad story, but I will say it might make someone a little squeamish.
I mean, I guess we're going in strong. You've already opened the door.
You know, how about this? I'll tell that story after we rate this first one.
I am going to give this one... Oh man, see, I have high standards. I hate to say this. I think I'm going with weak.
I do think that this one's maybe a bit weak.
I've gotten a cardboard cut. They hurt like all hell, so I'm not gonna say pain scale wise that it's weak. But in terms of a crazy story, we're a little weak here.
Weak.
Weak! We got 3 for weak! Damn! What, chat, what are you doing? This is not a competition.
What Phoebe taught us? Bro. What Angel taught us?
Oh, the gamba. They brought the gamba.
I didn't teach them to gamble. They just do this every time I share a chat with someone to try to spread falsities and lies. It's not true.
No, it's okay. They had to learn it from somewhere.
Yeah, from you.
Yeah, okay.
You taught them.
I might be a little bit to blame.
I literally can't. After your bullshit game show the other day, Artie, I went to my Discord and they were all just spamming the gamble emote, and they were like, "Yeah, you did it!" And I was like, "Oh fuck."
It was beautiful gamba, beautiful gamba. Thank you for coming to the bullshit game show.
It was good though, but I gotta stop gambling. All right, so we all agreed on weak. Now you have to tell us your story.
Okay, so I preface this with I have a inhumane pain tolerance after years of experience in strange injuries.
Oh no.
So
it's got a history.
It's got a history.
So a long while ago, there was a wart on my hand, on my thumb specifically, and like this one kind of counts, I think, but so I was trying to do like the method where you freeze it off, but it wasn't working, and so one day I tried to like freeze it more, and it sort of didn't go well, and I got a little minor frostbite on my hand.
Oh.
Now, a normal person would have gone to a doctor, but doctors are expensive.
Do they have doctors for gods? Is that a thing? Is there like a god doctor?
The godter.
The goctor.
The goctor. Wait, hold on.
That's a mouthful.
Wait. But so instead,
it's not the proctor.
Yeah. So instead, I had a friend with me, and he decided to keep me company in a stall as I proceeded to perform minor surgery on myself with a box cutter, removing the wart by hand.
And there was never a point in your mind where you thought this was a dumb idea. Like, there wasn't a single brain cell that went, this might be stupid.
Well, here's the thing. I did it so well, because I went and got it checked by a friend who has a medical experience, and I did it so well and so cleanly that I didn't even leave a scar.
That's impressive. You know, I gotta hand it to you.
You know what?
Impressive.
Thank you.
No, snaps.
Congrats
Snaps,
on
I
your
agree.
wart removing skills.
Yeah. God of removing warts, holy shit.
I performed minor surgery on myself.
I mean, you know, I guess when you're out hunting, you gotta be able to take care of yourself, so it does kind of
Exactly. It's survival skills. Like, what if I'm in the woods and I need to, like, you know, stitch myself up? Who's gonna do it for me?
It's true. You know, that's actually one thing that I get very squeamish about is like sewing skin, which is a silly thing to get squeamish about since it's like a way to heal the body. But that specifically makes me very squeamish. And my mother used to do that thing where she would actually sew through the first layer of her skin just to show me and watch me squeal and run away. So it just made it worse. It's evil.
That's psycho behavior.
I agree. I agree. That's what I said. Didn't get me very far. All right, so we're gonna keep going, and they just get. Oh, excuse you, buddy. Sorry, I've got my kitty cat with me. He's recovering from being sick, and he's on my desk, so we may hear some sneezes. Just a small heads up. But Roro's a precious being, and I gotta take care of him. But our next one is surprisingly very similar to what we just read. I was opening a cardboard box, with a knife, and I was cutting towards my hand. And the box opened, but my hand slipped and I stabbed myself in the meaty part of the hand. I was bleeding everywhere and had to get stitches. So let's talk about, you know, cutting etiquette. Whether it's scissors, knives, do not bring the blade towards you. This is like weapon 101.
Not your body.
Not towards your body.
Yep.
Don't
not
do
towards
that.
Your body.
Don't do that. Bad.
I'm feeling a little called out here.
Oh, Artie,
Look,
Alright,
I'm not gonna. Don't worry, I won't share all of them. I will say I'm like, wow, I had a very similar experience once. The only
Were you cutting towards yourself?
I was trying to open a sword and pull out the pick to find out if something was full tang or half tang, and it was with a bottle opener, and it sliced through my thumb. Thankfully, my friend whose house I was at, his mother was a doctor, and I didn't end up needing stitches.
I'm starting to wonder if half of these stories are secretly you submitting. It's like that copy pasta. I have multiple accounts and I'm your only chatter, except in this case, it's Artie is the only submitter.
I know.
Swear to God.
I
was it a
promise
full
I
tank?
did not submit. It was I didn't get it open because I was kind of bleeding all over everywhere.
Oh, so you don't even know! We never even got the answer! What was it for? What was the purpose?
Well, we couldn't pull out the pin.
Alright, well, I feel like in the grand
remind me of
scheme...
one story I have.
Wait,
okay. We got a
Fifi's
thief
story?
We got a thief story.
I want to hear.
One of my few. Okay, so
Alright.
when I was working in fast food, I had so the way that I trim my eyebrows, I don't wax my eyebrows. I use eyebrow scissors.
Okay.
Those are a thing?
And
I've heard of threading. I've never heard of eyebrow scissors.
yeah, that's like a really tiny little pair of scissors.
Okay.
So I'm trimming my eyebrows, and I am listening to a YouTube video, and I got like a sound jump scare. I jump and I just I just have the scissors in my hand. I jump and the scissors go into the meaty part of my
Ah!
No!
hand. Yeah. And so now Tuesday, I did not listen to any YouTube video or otherwise while trimming my eyebrows. And I didn't really bleed, but I got the meaty part like below your thumb. It got really swollen.
Oh, I can imagine. That's a direct stab.
Yeah, no, that is a stabbing.
Excuse me.
Yeah, and like I couldn't do my closing duties
Yeah, I can
for
imagine.
like a few days.
Did you get workers' comp for that? You got hurt on the job.
No, I didn't. No, I was at home trimming my eyebrows.
Oh, my brain thought you were doing this in like the bathroom of your job. I don't know why, that just was the picture I had. And I was like you're on your break and you're like, oh, gotta, gotta
just
look
like
my best.
It was just like the first thing I thought of was how like I show up to work the next day, showing them my huge swollen hand, to be like,
Hey guys, look!
No.
I can't use my left hand, so I need someone to pick up the slack for my closing duties.
Yeah. Did it heal up already?
Oh yeah, took a few days, but swelling went down eventually. I think it was for the most part okay, but I get like a little anxious every time I pick up the scissors.
Yeah, with good reason. I
Just a
actually
little bit.
would have stopped using them after that kind of experience. I would have been like, yeah, maybe I'll just go to the mall and have someone else do it. Like, I don't. It sounds like such a bad time.
I don't trust other people to do my eyebrows. I don't know. I'm like anxious of other people doing my eyebrows, like threading, waxing, whatever. I just don't trust anyone to do a good job. I don't know.
I'm terrified of face injuries over like this kind of thing. So I don't have a story for myself that connects to this. However, my mother's old boss was the kind of person that would do her makeup at like the office. And she wasn't always the brightest. And I vividly remember this one time that she had decided she needed to fix her mascara, but the only thing she had was a safety pin, and thought to herself, oh, I'm just going to use this safety pin to adjust my eyelashes. And I don't think I need to tell you what happened. I think we all kind of know that the safety pin did not go to the eyelashes, they went to the eye.
That makes me squeamish.
Nope, that's a yikes.
No.
That's a big
Don't
yikes.
like that one.
That's a
Don't
super
like that.
big yikes. And
I mean,
I'm
considering
permanently
that story-
terrified now.
I mean, considering that story, thankfully, considering that I was trimming my eyebrows, it was just my hand that got stabbed.
Yeah. I'm glad it was just your hand. And we have our first brutal of the night. Shut up. That's on the brutal meter. Now we know what I'm looking for, guys. When I say I want brutal, if we aren't squeamish and freaking out, it ain't brutal. But we should probably score this last one. I'm gonna give it an ouch only because I think like it's not like crazy. It's not a crazy story, but it's definitely an ouch. That's definitely
Yeah.
an
I'll say an
ouch.
ouch.
I give an ouch. Just an ouch. Yeah. I give an ouch.
It's very close to the first story, but it's got a little bit more consequence going on, and I think that's why it deserves an ouchie. All right. I also don't remember this one being here. Is it just putting them in random order? What the All right, we'll just keep going. Hopefully nothing crazy happens.
You're also still getting more submissions. I noticed that another one popped in.
We have a 2-hour limit, guys! I don't know if we can get through 51 in 2 hours!
Look, I believe.
I
We can
don't.
do this.
You can believe. I don't fucking believe. We're gonna get to like 20 and there's gonna be so many bunny trail side stories.
I'm going to say now. I apologize ahead of time.
Oh, I'm also a yapper. Don't worry. I'm a yapaholic. It's not you, it's me. So, going on. The
do
next
you
one
believe-
Like a
says...
hard 2-hour limit.
No. I actually, so I have, I'm doing like repo crowd control later, and I told everyone that I was giving an extra hour because I was like, watch, we're gonna run over. I'm calling it now, we're gonna run
Yeah.
over. It's not ended at 8. We're putting it to 9. But I did give us a semi-hard at 3 hours. Just because I don't want to hold you guys against your will for forever.
I don't think you could do
Yeah.
that. I don't think you could hold us against our will, but you could hold us by our will.
I don't know, once we get to the 30th, we might not want to be here anymore. Depending on how many brutals we get, all 3 of us might start being like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to read anymore. What if the next person loses 2 limbs? It's just Fear and Hunger, the document. But I digress. Foreshadowing. I sure hope not. That would suck. Editors, take note of this moment. Not crazy, more funny. But when I was little, I sprained my pinky in a pillow fight I wasn't even involved in. It swelled up so bad it looked like a grape, and I had a little cast for it and everything. I told people a dog bit me really bad.
That's more impressive than anything.
That's pretty impressive, actually, yeah, I agree. What really sent me was
Kirkman
I just told
85
people a dog
subscribe.
bit me. Like, that's
Yeah,
just
just
so
they-
good.
It's one of those, sorry, the real story is actually just not impressive enough.
I mean, I think we've all been there, where like we got hurt from something stupid, and it was like, man, I really want to tell people.
Oh my god, I can't. I'm like, I know I pushed something into the back of my head, and I'm like, I know I've had one of those where I'm like, the real answer is actually just so silly. But
Well,
yes, no,
my-
I understand that feeling.
My worst injury ever is something fucking stupid, so I feel it, but I was brave and just told everyone instead, and they refused to believe me, and instead made up a bunch of other stories, because there's no way that's what happened. But it is what happened, and they can suck it. Do I want to reveal my
Dang.
big one now? Do I do it?
We could save it. If we could save, we got some
Save
build
it?
up.
All right,
Build up.
yeah.
Edge it a little bit.
Yeah, I'll edge it. It's my big injury story, so I gotta hold
Look,
off.
Look, I'm just saying. Oh, go ahead, Fifi. Go ahead.
I could save it until after you're done saying it, but I was gonna say I have a pillow fight story.
You have a pillow
Oh my
fight story? Wait, no,
Okay.
that matters.
Yeah.
That connects. You better
That does
tell it.
matter. That does matter. But, and I was just gonna say, if there's any stream to ever push something to the end, it's an injury tale. We're doing nothing but edges in edging.
Yeah, that's true. Also, real quick,
Yep.
we have a lot of submissions. I'm also comfortable doing a second one of these down the line if you two have a lot of fun. So just let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. Because I know we're not getting through 52 now. Someone just hit enter as I was saying that. Can only imagine what it's gonna say in 2 hours. Sorry, got a little heated there.
All right.
But anyway, pillow fight story.
Oh yeah, so one time I was staying over at a friend's house, and we got into a pillow fight, and she kind of went a bit too far. So long story short, she ended up kicking me. We were both on her bed. She ended up kicking me. I go backwards. I fling off the bed. I tumble into her lamp. I crushed the lamp. And let's just say I still have the scar on my leg from the piece of lamp.
I'm so sorry.
She kicked me into her lamp.
How did it escalate from pillow fight to kicking you into a lamp? Like,
No, there's no longer anything pillow about it. That is simply a fight.
it's simply a fight, yeah. It's just a straight up fight, bro.
I don't remember how old I was. I think I was like 9.
Oh.
You know, weirdly enough, I can't. I have a story for later.
I feel like kids get into a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah.
At parties and like sleepovers. I've got a few there as well. It's not pillow fight related, but it's just kids being dumb And that's where
Yeah.
most of these stories are going to be. I promise you, almost all of these are going to be... Actually, the literal next one starts off with I was young. And then the next one, back in middle school. When I was in elementary school.
Wait,
Yeah,
they're literally getting younger. Wait, hold on.
I'm dead serious. That's what this says.
Wait, no, like, in order.
I'm
Which is
literally reading them. I'm not even
time-
fucking with you guys.
the time machine.
God, I'm glad though that you know, are okay. It sucks that you have a scar from that, but that's a really fun story. And you
I
can
can
wield
send
it
a
against
picture
that friend
later.
for forever. Yo, bet.
There's a huge slit on the side of my leg. You're not gigantic, like going all the way across, but
It's a war story.
I'm giving that one a brutal.
Yeah.
Only because the context is supposed to be cute girls having pillow fight, and now you're fucking injured for life. Like, come on, that's brutal.
yeah. Yeah.
That's a brutal, bruh. All right, so the next one is, I was young and was running around the new house of my grandparents. I slipped at the bathroom and fell on the edge of the wall. When my grandmother and the house seller, they were selling the house, came to me, there was a lot of blood and I had to go to the hospital. I now currently have a big scar on top of the right of my face. I've taken a few really dumb falls that ended up leaving marks, so honestly, Mood, I'm sorry for your pain.
Yeah, and I think this is the realtor showing them the new house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Oh.
leave the blood and say the house is haunted.
Oh, true. Did your grandparents still move in? Did you play ghosts? Did they get it cheaper? Did they get a discount? Haunted houses, when it's like known for being haunted, get discounted. Did they get a discount?
I think haunted houses do get discounted.
They should have discounted your grandparents' house. If not, call and get them to do it retro. Call now.
Retro.
Do it.
Call 877-1500.
Yes.
I think this is an ouch.
Yeah, I was also
I'd say
thinking
an
an ouch. Like, we have a scar
I didn't even
result from
notice.
it. But there's not an element in here that's crazy enough for me to be like, oh, that's brutal, or oh, that's insane.
Yeah, like it's like ow, but like nothing too wild.
Yeah. All right, so we're at 2 ouches 1 week. So far, we've all agreed on everything, which I've specifically made sure there was 3 of us, so that way the odds of us tie-breaking was very little. But we've all had the same opinion so far, which has been very nice and convenient. Thank you, guys. I'm glad we're all sharing the same brain
anime
cell.
woman.
Look, there's only so many of those to go around.
We have 1 to share. It was back in middle school, and I was playing Pokemon Sun and Moon. Oh, that makes me feel very old. You were in middle school when Sun and Moon came out? And this piece of metal pipe, one of your siblings left around. Why did your sibling have a metal pipe? There's so much wrong with this, bro. I ended up not noticing, and boom, I skewered my right foot, it going through the bottom, out the top, leaving a hole. It took a week to recover and close.
Jeez.
I'm okay.
I'm
Why
in
did-
between.
Why did your sibling have a sharp metal pipe? What?
Yeah, like I want to know, like, hold on, not only did they just leave out a sharp metal pipe, but like, at what angle are you stepping on? How long is the pipe? How are you skewering?
Say.
Like
For
how,
it, for it
how
to
did
skewer,
you
it
manage
has to be a vertical direct step on it, right?
Yeah, going through the bottom and out the top, which means that they stepped directly
Directly
onto
on
it.
the.
But how tall was the pipe?
I don't know. Oh, bless you, buddy.
Like
It's okay.
full impact, like went through the other side of the foot.
That's what it says.
So
That
I'm
it
reading
says
right?
that it goes in one side, out the other.
Okay, so
Why?
impalement.
Yeah, we're looking at impalement
pipe.
here.
I'm like in between ouch and brutal because like I feel like it's not too wild and it's definitely at least an ouch, but
Oh, yeah.
also like how do you not notice a whole pipe as you're stepping?
This one has an element which I actually almost created a secret category, but decided against it at the last moment.
Oh, is it?
That was-
Is it,
That was. Is this for real or are you fucking with me? Like, I don't know if I trust this one. I don't know how much I believe it. Only
here's the thing,
because the last sentence implies they continue to go to school throughout all this. I don't think a middle schooler would continue to go to school with a hole in their foot.
That's fair, especially if it's like a
Angel,
hole in their
I had
foot.
the exact same thought. I was like,
Okay,
why
all right.
did they go back to school?
I mean,
That
it's
doesn't make
possible.
any sense.
It is technically possible, but I am kind of Xing to doubt here.
Also, hold on, wait. Actually, there's one other big X to doubt here. A middle schooler having the strength in their walk to impale their foot straight through a metal pipe and not notice.
What if it wasn't actually? It says piece of metal pipe. So what if it's more like just a piece of metal, like a thin piece of metal?
Like maybe, but like the thing is like
Yeah.
for it to be long enough to leave a hole at the top of your foot, how are you not noticing it sticking up that high? Because like that's like, hold on, checking
Yeah.
a foot.
Artie's looking up feet.
I'm Feet, can you be the expert on the feet? Can you be the expert on the subject right now on
Yeah,
how like
no problem.
tall that would have to be?
Why are you sniffing?
It gives her extra information.
All right, I think I know where I land on this one. I think that giving it the benefit of the doubt, it would undoubtedly at least be ouch. But there's too much in here for me to actually be like, this is insane. So I'm gonna settle on ouch. That's my personal land.
I'm gonna put it in ouch.
Fifi, what we thinking? Are you gonna dock them to weak just because you don't believe it?
Or are you going to give them to brutal for the impalement?
I was thinking of brutal for the impalement. However, like, it's just like funny how like, okay, there's like 3 parts of your body, technically 4, where there are the most amount of nerves, and that is your hands, your feet, and your lips.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, how?
Wait, your
that
lips,
is
really?
not the most- Yes.
Huh.
How is this not the most painful thing ever? Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
I
your
do love
nerves-
the context that they remembered they were playing Pokemon Sun and Moon. And I'm gonna tell you guys this now as someone who had to review to make sure there was no like really severe like self-harm messages or whatnot in some of these. Multiple people throughout the rest of the stream are gonna go, so I was playing Pokemon blah blah blah, and then have an injury story. I don't even remember
playing
this
Pokemon
one in
Go
my
and I got hit by a
preview,
car.
so there seems to be a trend between middle schoolers getting severely injured and playing Pokemon. But yeah, what's your final call? We gonna stick with brutal? 2 of us are on ouch, so it's unfortunately going in that category due to tiebreaker anyway. But what is your final call?
If this is completely real and they just happen to leave out the fact of how just painful it was to go through your foot, I would put in brutal.
All right, brutal final
Okay.
answer. We're gonna move on to the
No, I
next
didn't-
one. When I was in elementary school, I was out at recess and was playing in one of our forts in the wood. What?
A fortress in the woods, like a treehouse.
Okay, in elementary school. My brain perceived that as like they're actively in the school, not that's the time frame. And I was like, is there elementary school in the woods? Okay, I'm following now.
Whoa, what kind of elementary school is that?
I was like, ah.
That's
Yeah,
kind
you
of
can-
awesome.
You can tell I'm city folk by the level of confusion I just went through. So anyway, going back, I was out at recess and was playing in one of our forts in the woods. I saw something on the ground and bent down to look at it. I ended up poking my eye with a stick. I still have no idea how I didn't see the stick as I was bending down. No major injury, but boy, was I a dumb kid.
I think I know my secret tech category.
Yeah?
It's going to be the how did you manage this?
Oh man, all of my stories are gonna land in there because what I was gonna say is this is extremely angel coded. This answer is so angel coded. All of my injury stories are just like it's either you're so fucking stupid or that should be physically impossible, yet here we are.
You know what? I have my physically impossible one.
Oh man.
Oh, man. I would say that's like an ouch.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
give this an ouch.
I'm gonna give this an ouch just because, you know, it does hurt. Technically injury level, this was a week. They say that they're fine.
Yeah, like this is like a week. The only reason
it
I'd give
has
this an
the
ouch is
dum-dum
the
element.
eye. But it has anything to do with your eyes is always worse.
Oh, that's true.
Uh-huh.
That's true. So I'm gonna segue into one of my stories since I was talking about
Go.
angel coded stupidity. I think I may have lightly mentioned this actually in Discord, about how I relocated my jaw with a burger. I'm dead serious.
I'm sad.
Borgor.
Burr. So the TLDR is I had wisdom tooth surgery, kind of recently because it was impacting, and they were like, hey, don't eat anything, but you can start to eat real food as you feel like it's capable, which was the most horrible thing they could have said to me because I'm a dumbass and I will consistently push my limits. I'm like unable to open my mouth enough to even put like a straw in my mouth. Not that you're supposed to be using straws, but again, I'm dumb. And by day 3, I woke up and I was like, I want a burger. And my whole family was like, no, this is a bad idea. And I was like holding my wallet, I'm getting a burger. And no one could stop me, so I DoorDashed in a Burger King Whopper. And I was like measuring to try to figure out if I could like squash it to fit it in my mouth, and I realized pretty quickly it's just not happening. So what if I just use the burger as leverage and force my jaw open? Was my next solution.
No!
No! And needless to say, everyone was screaming at me at this stage, but again, no one could stop me. So I did. I put the burger against my face and I was using it like a lever to force my mouth open and get the burger in. And I got about halfway into the burger and I was in a lot of pain, but man, I had my burger. Life was good. But I get to the center and that's where like the tomato and the pickles and all the other stuff is, and it's fucking huge. And I'm like, we can do this. And as I'm forcing my jaw to open, I feel my jaw go dum 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 and move a bunch. And then I keep eating my burger and it got a lot easier after that. And from the remainder of like my healing process, my jaw was in way less pain. And I kind of realized in post, oh, the reason my jaw wasn't opening was because it was still dislocated. Huh. Anyway, the burger healed me, so we're good. I got my burger, mouth works, healing burger.
You were healed by burger.
Healed burger.
Unironically.
Healed burger. My community can guarantee this is true because I told them immediately. I know it sounds fucking insane and like it has to be fake, but I immediately documented this. My family will also confirm because they were very mad at me. So, you know, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm the cause of my own
incredible.
Sir said, how American.
How American I am. Yay, old American.
Wait, cleric burger. I love cleric
burger. I think I literally went like 3 days just going burr as a joke. Like, it was bad.
Burger.
Burr. I need a burger emote. I really do.
Wait,
You do.
Wait a minute.
I need a
Do
burger
I have?
emote.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
What's crazy is I don't even like, I'm not normally a burger person. When I go out for fast food, I eat chicken sandwiches. I'm very rarely interested in burgers, but this was the one moment. This was the only moment where my body was like, burr. And then, you know,
Here.
you know the
You need
rest.
one of these.
Burr.
Oh, please. Yeah, burr.
There you go. Burger sip.
Burr.
Americans are fueled
Yeah,
by
I
burgers.
need that. It's true. We also get healed by Berbers. Did you know that all Berbers
Berbers.
have healing properties to Americans? It's a passive ability we're born with.
Yeah.
You know.
Their lifeblood.
It's our lifeblood.
Yes, gotta love the passives.
Gotta love the
Oh,
American
I've got
passive.
I've got my my stupid impossible one that to this day I don't entirely understand how it happened.
All right, hit me.
You know, I mentioned it, but when I was younger, I was with someone at like a clothing store,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what happened, but like they got, I think that they got mad at me or something at the time, and like I walked forward towards like a door, like a dressing door, and like they slammed it, and I don't know how, but for whatever reason, in some specific angle, in some specific way, the corner of my eye got caught in the door, and so like it pinched the skin at the corner of my eye, and I don't know how that works, especially since my eye like indents. So there's like a little corner scar that's just an indent right at the corner of my eye.
It got nothing else. It just got your eye. Like,
Yes.
how did? I feel like I'm literally the white woman math meme. Like, that doesn't track. How the fuck?
I don't know. I don't know how that worked.
Only God things. I don't know what to tell you.
I got my eye stuck in a door.
It's fucking wild.
No. That's a new one.
How do you get someone that healed their jaw with a burger and someone that got their eye stuck in a door in the same room at the same time?
Kind of
We
incredible.
literally are like anomalies in reality, and yet we're both here, insane.
I was but a young huntling at the time, but I
Young
still don't
huntling.
understand.
Dude, that's so
Let's see
insane.
what's
I
going
can't. I'm like trying so hard to picture the process, and I'm like, I can't. I actually physically cannot. Like, at what angle were you turning your head?
Like that's the part I will like. I feel like I have to like hold on. Let me see if I can do something real quick. Hold on, because I don't understand.
I'm scared of the idea of you doing something to demonstrate this. I don't know why, but that scares me just as much as actually figuring out how you pulled that off.
Well, guys, that's a big ouch.
Yep, that's definitely an ouch. I see him blinking a lot, and I'm not sure if that's what I'm supposed to be looking at.
Yeah, hold on.
Is the eye gonna like pop out of the model?
I'm gonna share. Hold on. I'm gonna just share something very briefly. Hold on.
Okay.
It's like
I feel fear.
the corner right there. It's probably gonna confuse you more.
Yeah.
Okay, it is sending.
Okay.
It'll be just a minute for that.
Chat, we're seeing the secret injury sauce.
The secret injury
Injury
sauce.
sauce.
That's what I'm calling it now.
Sometimes I get sauce in my eye.
What? Like
Wait, what?
marinara? Ranch? Barbecue?
What kind of sauce do you get in your eye?
Yeah, I'm starting to
Don't
get
worry
worried
about
about where this is going.
Don't worry about it.
Is that with the glasses on or glasses off?
The glasses stay on.
The glasses stay on.
So wait. So is the sauce just dodging the glasses?
Yes, exactly.
I mean, if
See,
the
it's got a
sauce is
curve.
pouring on your face at a certain velocity, it would make sense.
The picture is taking a second to send, so I would say, how about we can read
We
the
keep
next
going
one
and then
while
we just
wait.
wait till a photo of an injured eye just appears in my DMs. Yeah, I got you.
But, yeah, I dropped it in our in the group DM.
Yeah, I've got it open. I'll wait till I get flashbanged with injured eye and then I'll pause.
Yeah, it has the scar in it. So when you see the scar, you'll probably understand how it worked, but be more confused at how it happened.
I have a feeling with my singular brain cell, I'm not gonna understand shit and just be more confused. But we're gonna move on to the next one. Back when I was a dumb kid, I had the incredibly smart idea of slicing an orange. The problem is my brain said, okay, gonna use a knife to cut it. Well, I sliced the orange and also most of my finger. All things considered, the idea itself wasn't bad, just the execution you'd expect from a 5-year-old child, Annie, wanter of oranges and haver of knives. Annie, baby girl, no!
5-year-old? No.
Let's get a shout out for Annie Bell while we're here, by the way. Annie's a sweetheart.
Annie wants her of oranges and have her of knives.
I'm gonna
like-
call you that for like the rest of your life. Wanter of oranges, haver of knives. Like, it's locked in.
That is a title.
That is, yeah, it's a straight
Just-
up
just-
title.
You have to read it dramatically. Annie, wanter of oranges and haver of knives.
That's your new introduction, and no one can tell me otherwise.
Agreed.
It's too good. Man.
Look, I think it feels like a child cut, so it's hard to say.
I'm actually leaning ouch. It's
I think I'm
close.
leaning ouch.
For me, brutal is gonna require an element of just like absolute insanity. I'm gonna be very sparse with my brutals. I'm also gonna be kind of sparse with my weeks. Weeks are gonna be like, you're being a baby.
Yeah, just little paper cut.
Well, I mean, like, it says that they sliced most of their finger, but it doesn't, like, specify how superficial it was.
I
Yeah,
think
like how much of
so-
the finger?
So Annie's a regular, and I think I actually remember them bringing up the story once before. And if I recall, it actually was a very, very bad injury. Like like when they say almost off, they mean that. If I remember from what was said before, it's not as detailed in this message, but I do remember this coming up once before. But again, I'm looking for an extra element on the brutal level, so that's up to you guys to deliberate.
You know,
It's
I'm
not
on.
specified, so I'll stick with ouch.
I'm gonna stick with ouch for now.
Ouch, it is. Honestly,
Now,
as
if it
long
was-
as
it
it's
was the
not
finger.
weak, you're fine.
If it was the finger and not most of the finger, that would have been a guaranteed brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the almost off. That's what cucked it.
That's what happened to my mom once.
Oh no.
Okay, so my mom,
Uh-huh.
she is missing half of her pinky due to a motorcycle accident.
Oh
Yeah.
man, accidents get bad. They get bad,
She's
bad.
only talked about it one time.
I can imagine. All right.
Apparently she's like in her 20s. That's
I mean,
all I know.
I feel like I would, if I had like an injury like that, I would tell the story constantly. But that's just
She
because
was
I
very
brag
into
about
it.
stupid shit.
Oh, my mom told me, she was like, yeah, when I was in my 20s, I had a motorcycle accident. That's where I lost half my pinky. It was
But
pretty
motorcycles are cool,
That's
at
all
least. At least
No,
motorcycles are cool.
not.
It could have been worse. It could
bad.
have been
Motorcycles are cool.
I was
Motorcycle
cutting
accidents are
cucumbers in the kitchen and then I realized I was cutting my finger instead. Like, that's a little more sad.
not. A little bit sad, yeah.
Yeah. I am too scared to drive a motorcycle. But follow up, I also can't ride a bike, so I'm pretty sure I would eat shit on a motorcycle just as much. Like, I'm pretty sure I would just die.
Well, one of my friends did actually die in a motorcycle accident when he was only 19.
Oh
Yeah.
no! Oh, I send my condolences.
Yeah.
Thank
Vehicles
you.
like that can be
I've-
really risky, and I don't think people understand, like, I see so many people driving without helmets and shit, and I'm like, what are you doing, man?
You know, as much as I always thought motorcycles were cool, I've also lost 2 friends to motorcycle accidents myself.
Seriously.
Yeah, like it's definitely no joke.
I think they're cool vehicles. I definitely think they're scary driving. Oh, your photo came through.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, that's
So
in
literally,
that's,
like-
that's in the curve of the eye. How in the fuck? That's even more confusing. I thought it was gonna
Yeah,
be like the
that's
top,
what
the
I'm
lid.
saying.
My running concept was maybe your eyelashes are just really long and somehow you were leaning forward and it caught like the center point of the eye where the eyelashes would be out the farthest.
But
But no,
nope.
it's the I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. I'm trying, but this does not make sense, bro.
I'm just gonna chalk it up to a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a glitch in the Matrix. I agree.
You clip through the door.
Quickly ending the more serious part. I haven't lost anyone to motorcycle accidents, but I definitely. Oh, bless you, buddy. Bless you. Bless you. It's okay, buddy.
Aw.
It's okay. It's okay. Poor little guy. Man, it's so sad when animals are sick because they don't understand what's going on. I just want to help them. Oh, come on, get your sneezies out. You okay? So I grew up in the canyon, and the mountains that we lived like, because we lived right in the center of the mountains. The mountains were a very common place for people to go racing, which was really stupid because our area was very defunded, and there were no rails on the mountain roads. And they were 2-way winding roads, so there was a lot, and I mean like a lot of cases of cars just going off the side of the mountains, and almost everyone in that city had some sort of story that was loosely connected to it. So I guess my takeaway here for everyone listening is like, don't underestimate vehicles at all.
Yeah.
Like, we may hee hoo hoo, and especially since this stream is going to talk about a lot of injuries in a casual sense, but know that like some of these things are really serious, and just, you know, be careful.
Take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
Take care of yourselves, chat.
All right, I scrolled a little. I want to make sure I'm at the right one. Okay, yeah, that's Annie. All right, we ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All right. When I was on vacation on a beach, I returned to our hotel from a fun splish splash adventure. Excuse me. When we opened the doors to the main hotel, my foot got caught under the door, and with a fast opening door, you can imagine how much it hurt. Well, it was so bad that my toenail actually got ripped off, and I had to live without a toenail on my big toe for some time. Have you guys ever lost a nail before?
Yes, several times.
I think I
I've
have
never
once.
experienced it, and I'm absolutely terrified of eventually experiencing it.
0 out of 10 do not recommend.
Yeah?
Okay, so basically copy paste the story. This is my exact story. I had a door go over my foot and it took a nail with it.
Ugh.
Ooh.
Like,
Yeah.
I've slammed my fingers in my feet before. I've never lost a nail. I assume it's extremely painful.
I'm gonna be honest. I think toenail removals fall under brutal for me.
Really?
It's an out for me. As someone
Oh.
who's had this exact
No,
story,
I
it's
have to be the tiebreaker. Oh, fuck. Oh. I think I might go with Fifi here on ouch. Only
I think
because I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people talking about nail removal, and I don't want to make it too easy. That's my final line.
You know what? That's fair. Like I put it in brutal when it's like the entire thing's ripped off at once. Like that's Higurashi level.
Oh, is it? Is it really that bad? God, I hope
Well, I mean, they
never
literally do that in
experience this.
Higurashi.
Well, I mean, I know, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually the next one. Wait, no, it's not. What? God, we're getting more submissions, so it just keeps pushing the form. As a child, in elementary school, I was very hyperactive, not really being able to sit still at all, and on a fateful day I had the bright idea to use the underside of our tables as kind of a climbing ground, which backfired horribly, as I fell off the table and the table falling over as well, hitting my hands so hard that I wasn't able to use them for several months.
Oh.
Ugh. I'm trying to picture the kind
Months?
of table in question here. I know like those camping tables, like not the foldable ones, but like the ones that are at campgrounds that are like really sturdy, typically have like metal undersides, and I think that might be what the table in question is. Because there's no way it was like a foldable little dude.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to know how like the table fell, like, because it's saying table fell over as well, and it's like,
I'm confused how this happened.
this
Yeah.
one is like I'm trying to think of the Rube Goldberg machine of how you get here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely stuck kind of not necessarily at an X to doubt the whole story, but an X to doubt the process.
The question mark of how this functions.
I guess to be fair, you were under the table, so it's not like you exactly had the clearest visual on what happened either.
Well, that's the thing is, if you're under the table, it's the underside of the table, right? So how did it fall? And you were climbing it. I'm like, what kind of table was this? Like, this is a table in the sense of like with 4 legs, or is this like a table that has like a center under?
I think maybe I figured it out.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, so when I was in school, or one of the schools I went to, because I moved multiple times, one of them was their cafeteria. They had like really long tables, and they had wheels. You would fold them up in the middle, and they would stand vertically.
Oh.
So I'm thinking
Okay.
maybe they tried to climb the table that was folded up and was sitting vertically.
That would make way more sense, right?
Okay.
And like, it has like the seats attached, so maybe they were trying to like use like the attached seats with the metal bars on the side climbing up, and then they fell off the table, and then the table fell over, and then it landed on them and hit their hands so hard they weren't able to use them for several months.
That
which
adds
implies,
so
like, their
much
hands are
more to it.
broken.
Yeah, because we're looking at like
That very
gravity
much
in that
does.
case as well. It's not just like I'm close to the ground and took a small tumble. Like, there's a lot more layers here that could make that work. Given that picture of it, because I was gonna go weak, honestly, but given that picture of it, I definitely think it at least belongs in ouch.
I give it an ouch.
Yeah, I give it ouch.
We're gonna have a lot of ouches by the end of the night.
Well, I mean, there'll be plenty more responses to look for hopeful brutals.
I'm saying ouch mostly because I'm taking a guess in my interpretation of the story.
That's understandable, yeah. I think yours makes the most sense though, because the thing that I was really struggling to get is like, distance-wise, it just didn't track that much to me. Because if it was like the side of the table and it was horizontal, would it really hit hard enough to fracture or break anything? Like, I couldn't figure out how it would get to that point. Your version, though, at least does track.
Yeah, I think they're trying to imply that they broke their hand.
Yeah, that's what it
Well, 'cause
sounds
I-
like.
Yeah, because because they didn't necessarily say they broke their hands. They said just
Yeah.
rendered unusable for a few months. So it's like, were they just really swollen? Were they like?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm like saying. Like, I'm going with ouch because I'm literally just like interpreting the story of what I think happened.
Because I feel like if they broke their hands, they would have said they broke their hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're all good on ouch, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, my throat's being kind of stupid today. When I was a kid, me and my cousins were riding our bikes at our uncle's house. We were always told, don't ride close to a barbed wire fence. I think we all know where this is going.
Ooh, this is.
I was going downhill. I went a little too fast, lost control of my bike, and I fell into the fence, getting my arm stabbed inside the barbed wire. I was sitting on the ground waiting for my cousins to get my dad to get me out. He got there, pulled my arm out, only for it to get stabbed again on the upper part of the fence.
Ooh.
Okay, can I just say this poster is so lucky they didn't die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one had the potential to be a much worse story. I think I found my first brutal. Bless you.
Thank you. I think I'd give this the brutal.
Yeah, brutal.
This
Like-
one's literally edging death here, so
Also, just you lift arm out
just for it
out
to
of
happen
barbed
again.
wire just to go into more barbed wire.
So bad.
That's
If it
that's
nicked an
rough.
artery, bye-bye, OP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
7.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, the context of going downhill at a high speed into it, like, you are so lucky it's somehow just your arm. Wait, Kitsu, that was you? It's my fucking moderator.
Oh no.
God damn it.
Goodness.
Fucking idiot.
You were almost out of moderator.
Why, yeah. Yeah, I heard he submitted 2 stories, so now I'm scared of what the other one is.
Oh no. Oh, congratulations, I guess. You're now in a brutal category.
Yeah, congratulations, you're our first brutal. I hope that fulfills you in some way.
Brutal.
Alright. I could not have been more than 10 at the time. I went swimming at the local lake with my sister. Now someone had been drinking beers there and threw the broken bottles in the water. I stepped on it, nearly missing an artery, had my foot bundled up in a towel by some strangers who were there and brought home, bless you buddy, where my mom yelled at me for getting blood on the towel. Sent to my room, no doctor, no stitches, essentially just a band-aid.
Ooh.
That's
I have a question.
You
This
said the
might-
phrasing of nearly missing an artery?
You caught what I caught, yeah.
Yep.
If you didn't go to a doctor, how are we sure you missed an artery?
Well, that's the
think
thing,
that's
is
the
it
only part
nearly
that's
missing
throwing
an
me off.
artery? Because, yeah, like, here's the thing.
I'm hoping
Is
you
the
went to a
nearly
doctor
missing-
in post.
Ace of Roses just
Yeah,
renewed.
but, like, they said nearly missing, which means that they didn't miss.
Oh, no, you're right. I'm fucking stupid. I didn't catch that. The reading comprehension skills might not be the grandest. Here, you
No,
guys can
I-
take
I
the
didn't
brain
catch
cell.
that either.
So,
I
I'm
don't
glad
think they
that
meant to
you're
say it like that, though.
okay. Yeah, I think that might have been a phrasing mishap. I think, yeah, because if you did hit the artery, right? Like, wouldn't bleeding out have been an immediate concern?
Oh yeah, because it's on their foot.
Yeah. I could be wrong. I'm not an expert on foot injuries, but we do have a foot expert here with us. Feet.
Yes, feet.
Well, I can tell you that. That's gonna be a big ouchie, and
That's a
some
big
people,
ouchie?
especially if. Yeah,
I
big ouchie.
I believe
but
in
not
feet.
not brutal, but
Not brutal?
especially for some people, like if you have a diabetic issues where foot injuries do not heal very well, this would be
Oh,
a very
yeah.
big problem.
Well, there's a few things that can affect like feet healing. Luckily, this is a young person.
Yeah, young person.
So we're looking at a higher heal rate. But yeah, no, I'm gonna go with ouch, but on the high end. On
I
the
can see
high
that.
end of ouch. There's just
high
a few
ouch.
details that have me a little confused on the overall process. That have me lacking, I think, the ingredients I would need to put it in brutal.
You know, it's been a while since I've been in an anatomy class, but I can't think of arteries in the foot.
Yeah, that was where I was a little fumbled too, but I also
Yeah.
am not the smartest. So I feel like
I
it's,
mean,
it's
like, I'm
just
not-
muscles and bones and nerves in the feet, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking of like your main artery, the aorta, goes down to the center of your sternum, and then it breaks apart at your lower abdomen, and then goes through, branches off there, and then goes through both of your legs, all the way down like to your feet. But I don't know if it reaches your.
You know more than me. You lost me halfway through there, so clearly you know a lot more.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look at a diagram of the aorta. It's not the only artery. But
no, Guard, that makes
Search up
sense.
artery and foot. What is
That
it?
that was the version of the story that their parents told them. So more than likely, we're looking at a little bit of telephone.
Okay. Okay, so there are like some arteries in the foot. So they're basically like, kind of over the top of your foot, toward its like side,
okay.
like the inner part of your foot, like where your ankle bone kind of runs.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then it goes over like to basically each side of your toe. Like, so basically you have like a little mini artery like on the side of your toe.
Huh.
And then across the knuckles of your toes.
Yeah,
Very
that's
small.
That's
It's at
actually
the very
interesting
end
to
of your
know.
body. Yeah, veins and arteries in your extremities tend to be way smaller.
Huh. You're really smart. That's so cool. I just learned something.
Nah. Well, thank you. The arteries are confusing though.
They're very
I mean,
confusing.
you know way more than I do. I'm actually genuinely very impressed with your level of knowledge on this. So that's
thank
actually
you.
quite cool.
I just took anatomy.
Okay, I don't remember most of the classes I took. Like, honestly, I very much have the syndrome of, I took this class. Something happened in there, I don't remember though, and it's all gone.
Here's why I hated studying arteries and veins and stuff. So like, each branch of an artery has sub-branches. Kind of
Okay.
like a tree.
Okay.
And they each have a designation. Like a code.
Okay.
For each branch of an artery.
I'm assuming that's for
And
doctors
so-
to be able to identify and locate more easily, yeah?
Yeah, it's like for medical records. So like, if you have an issue with particular artery, question mark.
They can designate the correct one that way. But there's so many that it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Man, I could never
But
do
yeah.
med school.
It's hard. Definitely hard.
It sounds incredibly complex. You guys are free to submit more stories if you want, but I do want to let you know there's no way we're clearing them all in the 2 to 3 hour period we've selected. We may do another one and continue if the guests choose that they want to, or if time allows. Keep in mind that everyone here is kind of psycho busy, so even if the desire's there may be complications. But you are free to submit a story and see where it lands. We may or may not get to it.
We'll do our best.
Yeah, within reason. But yeah, I'm glad you're all right. I think we all agreed for ouch, right?
Yes.
All right. When I was younger, every single one of these start with when I was younger in some variant, man. We're all just dumb kids, bro. When I was younger, we were celebrating the 4th of July at my grandparents' house, and we decided to shoot fireworks. They were nothing special, but fireworks. At one point, part of a firework somehow flew off and hit me right in the thigh, burned right through my swim trunks. Thankfully, it was nothing that required a hospital visit, but a firework to the thigh at a young age? Not fun. I think we may have stopped with fireworks, though, because of that. Sad. R.I.P. the fireworks. I love fireworks.
Fireworks can be beautiful.
Yes. They are dangerous, though. They are dangerous. I was literally at New Year's this year. We were doing the fireworks that, like, I forget what they're called, but like it's a big ball. You put it in a tube and it shoots up. One of the people in our group put it in upside down, so it exploded back at us. Little things like that can end up mortars. Thank you. Can end up bad very fast. You're very lucky that it was,
Not a mortar?
not. Well, no, not like your leg is severely burnt and you're lucky if your leg is still operating.
Yes.
Like this is definitely a story that could have turned far worse.
We get an ouch here.
Yeah, I'll say like an ouch. Like, you just do at-home first aid.
Yeah.
Burns really suck.
Oh yeah, burns suck bad. I definitely think
Yeah.
due to the nature of it being fire related, it's not going to be in the weak category no matter what. So I agree on
No.
ouch.
Yeah, ouch. Ouchie, ouch.
I know burns are rough. Oh, no. All right, more of a funny story. Oh yeah, a funny one. When I was 9 years old, I had 2 friends over to play. I was playing with one of them in a sandbox when my other friend was playing next to me with a buoy swing.
Oh.
A buoy? Like
buoy?
a water
Yeah,
buoy?
A buoy. A buoy swing, yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen one. He was using as a boxing sack substitute. Oh, he was beating it up. Got it. Okay. Long story short, the buoy swing collided with eventually a metal rake that was stuck upright in the sandbox, which in turn ricocheted directly onto my head afterwards. I had to get my head stitched in the hospital. In hindsight, it kind of seems cartoony how unlucky I got there, but it is kind of a funny story to tell. I can kind of picture that train of events. The swing flies, hits metal rake, takes the rake with it, hits you. That's Yeah, that is pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
But
Damn, bro. That's unlucky.
so that is the Rue Goldberg machine.
Yeah, that's the kind of story I was hoping to hear. Just because some stupid shit really happens, right? Like shit like this actually can happen. It's just rare. I don't know if I want to put it in brutal though. I feel like this is still an ouch, despite its funny nature.
Yeah,
I
like
would
it's
agree.
close. It's close, but I think not quite.
Yeah. All right, that's another ouch. Hold on, I have to update this one by one. It's probably slow. Next time I'll tell my mods to do it. We're like, mods, add to the counter.
Oh, I already don't like how this one starts.
Yeah, the first sentence already is sending me, in a bad way. Everyone buckle in, I think we found a brutal. Have you ever seen a toe turn black and the nail fall out over the span of minutes? Turns out, if you try to move another camping bench, off a table, you need to have a really good grip on it, or it'll fall on your unprotected foot and you'll spend the rest of the day howling in pain as the body does its best to discharge with the ruined flesh and heal. I've never seen a body part ooze that much from places it really shouldn't be oozing from. I somehow avoided breaking any bone in the process, which is quite the talent. But safe to say, there wasn't a whole lot of walking around for me that week. Yeah, I'm gonna give that one a brutal right out the gate.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like this has like the buzzwords of everything we expect from a brutal. Like
Yeah.
you're like, yes, turn black and fall out, oozing, ruined flesh. When you have the word flesh in there
ruined
immediately.
flesh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The chances of being injured by a park bench are low, but never zero. Well, it's happened twice in 10 stories, so that's actually a 2 out of 10 opportunity for a camping bench to ruin your life, I guess. But yeah, no, that's definitely a brutal from me. I had a friend that dropped like a 300-pound bookshelf on her foot, and even then, it didn't quite do what this did. So that just really makes me freak out at like,
Yeah, that's Jesus.
Yeah, brutal.
We give this a brutal.
that's a
This
brutal.
is definitely a brutal.
That's the hands down.
Brutality.
Oh, hey, buddy. It's okay. Go back to sleep. I'm sorry.
Little guy.
Little guy. Little
Aw,
guy.
little baby.
He doesn't understand all the brutal stuff we're talking about. He's just a little cat.
It's a little
A
guy.
little dude. Okay. So about a week ago, the tip of 3 of my fingers on my left hand got crushed in between a steel plate I was working on and the rollers. One a plate rolling machine. I don't know if that's spelled properly. I'm a little lost on what that specifically means. If one of you guys are familiar,
plate
a rolling machine in my school's shop. They were not cut, but it was bent pretty bad. If you looked at it, it formed a U with the rest of my hand. I'm assuming what happened is it went into a roller, like one of those machines that has like a roller on the top and bottom, and it pushed the hand backward, is what I think this is referring to. I'm not quite familiar with the machinery in question, which is what's got me a little stumbled. Continuing though, post-operation results: 1 permanently paralyzed articulation of my middle finger, 2 broken bones, and quite a lot of torn flesh. It took us 20 minutes to try to reactivate the different safeties and get my hand out of it. P.S. This is not a joke. These machines have so much force, and once you stop them, they won't even budge. I believe that. I absolutely believe that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with brutal on here because I am terrified of machinery. I'm terrified of it.
Machinery. I give a brutal.
Yeah, I think that one gets.
Yeah. Brutal.
I remember it was the when I worked in retail, we had like a cardboard compactor, like all retail places do, and the horror stories employees would share of like people getting limbs and whatnot stuck in the compactor left me permanently like terrified and freaked out. And of
See,
course
how does
any
that
place
happen?
with the meat department has stories of this kind of stuff, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk about it.
I feel like meat department stories are banned on their own right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So anyway, brutal. We got our 3rd brutal, guys. Unfortunately, that number is climbing faster than week is, and I don't know how I feel about that. Guys, where's the
It
week
feels
stories?
brutal.
Come on. Give us a little bit of like a grievance here, would ya? In high school, I was extremely focused on getting stronger. No, not bodybuilding, but strength training in particular. I was on the wrestling team and I needed to maintain my weight class. I spent 9 years exercising, and when I reached high school, I started dieting to maintain 150 pounds, while still lifting weight from 300 to 450. So while at wrestling practice, in the middle of a match against a larger opponent, I strained my arm so hard that the muscle broke off the piece of bone it was anchored to in my elbow. I had to have surgery to screw it back into place and spent 3 months in recovery. Exercise responsibly, everyone.
Ooh, that one makes me twinge.
You know, there's so many injury stories that I hear where people are just casually talking, and it's from like, you know, being stupid with like weights or things like that. So yeah, I definitely echo the last sentence here. Exercise responsibly. That's very important. I'm going brutal on this one, honestly. Like, this one sent straight to brutal for me. Fifi's making faces, so I'm guessing the same in that regard.
Well, I'm trying to actually figure out what happened. It says in the middle of a match against a larger opponent, they strained their arm while wrestling.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it says exercise responsibly. What does this have anything to do with exercise?
So-
I'm being nitpicky.
No, you're good. Artie, you go first. I have a feeling we're gonna say something very similar, though.
I was gonna say they were lifting weights way higher than they should have been, and probably putting too much strain on their muscles, probably weakening them in certain places and like tearing them and straining them really hard to the point where he probably was trying to lift the larger opponent or hold them back in some way, and a place that was weakened due to overexertion snapped off.
There's also implications that in wrestling, you're only really supposed to wrestle within your weight class. It sounds like they were wrestling outside of their weight class.
That's also true. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah. That's the takeaway I got,
Okay.
was that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Okay, yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, that's brutal. You know, hearing muscle broke off piece of bone, I was like, that's a yikes. That's a yikers.
Yeah,
I'm not about it.
Yeah.
Thanks, I hate it.
No joke.
Yeah, thanks, I hate it. Yeah, exactly. Yo, straight up.
Thanks, I hate
Straight up. Any situation where, like, the bone is outside of the body, or the muscle and the bone are no longer friends. Oh, bless you. Bless you. It's okay.
Bless you,
All right. I feel so bad. We're like, oh yeah, gross. And then all of a sudden, bless you. It's okay, little guy. And then we're back to, disgusting.
Oh no.
The mood
Bless
shift.
the kitty.
He's
Bless
just
the
a little
kitty.
dude.
Bless the kitty.
He's decided while sick that my desk is the only place he wants to be. So I need to be his caretaker during streams, and I feel bad about it when I bring people on. I want him to feel better. All right, when I was a kid, about 6 years old, I watched Harry Potter 3. Oh fuck, which one was the third one?
Prisoner of Azkaban.
Thank you. Harry Potter has one of the scariest werewolves for me because he's basically a giant bald rat. I was sitting in a wing chair with my knees against my chest. And during the scene where Harry and Hermione are hiding behind a tree and slowly backing away, which results into a jump scare with a werewolf suddenly appearing behind them, jump scare fitted the name, it made me jump, and I somehow knocked out one of my front teeth with my knee?
Oh no.
Oh god.
No.
The funny thing about the whole thing was that I already had one loose, but it survived, and I knocked out a solid one. Good thing it was just a baby tooth. Oh no.
Good job. Good job.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good story. I like that.
That's pretty good.
That's a pretty solid one. This is one of those like accidental, I done did a silly, and I think that's a good one. I'm gonna go with oh man. The injury itself is actually extremely weak because it's a baby tooth.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna agree. I was gonna say weak.
Yeah, I give this a week.
I think the story is fantastic. If you're in the chat listening, great story. Unfortunately, the injury level is just too simplistic. We're gonna have to put you in the weak category.
Plus, it was a baby tooth on top of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. If it had been a regular tooth, I think I may have leaned more ouch. But baby teeth fall out quite easily. All right. Oh, this one has 2. Question, team. If we have a submission that has 2 stories in one, do we want to scale them together or rate the 2 independent stories separately?
Ooh, I'm not sure. What do you feel, Fifi?
separately, I guess.
I think that'd be the
Okay.
easiest, because then we don't have to deal with like one of them being really silly and then the other one being super strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll
Oh wait,
start.
someone says one was skipped.
Oh, was it? The thing's moving as I go. So press steel plate.
Let's see. What's your tone for black?
No.
Oh, I think this one. Wait. I think.
No, that's the metal ring.
Oh, that's a
Nope.
buoy swing. That's a buoy swing. Okay.
Oh, I think this might be the
Oh
one I
yeah.
missed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think this
Yeah,
is the one I missed. More than likely,
Okay, yeah.
while I was looking at you guys, it probably adjusted to like here, and then I thought I read it and kept going.
Yeah.
Stop submitting.
Good catch, chat. Good catch. I'm very dumb. I appreciate the catch. The time I got injured was back when I was a sophomore in high school. I really enjoyed running in PE, but when I ran so fast, I accidentally lost my balance, and I fell. Why is this a trend? I fell on a broken barbed gate near the fence of the track, scraping my leg, causing massive bleeding. Almost had an infection if I didn't go to the nurse's office to get it bandaged to wrap my leg until it heals. As soon as it healed, my leg had a scar that almost looks like I got attacked by a wild animal. Why are you guys gravitating to barbed wire? Why? This is a question.
Honestly, I'm kind of impressed.
Yeah, I
Two
mean,
barbed wire stories already.
are we gonna have more? Like, this is like the first 15.
If you want to do an absolute power move, you get a tattoo right on that scar of barbed wire.
Dude!
actually.
Yes, actually, that's such a good idea. And then everyone's gonna ask, and then you can tell your killer story. Like, that's a win all the way around. I think barbed wire is gonna naturally fall into ouch for me, like no default, and then it has the potential to go worse. I'm gonna go with ouch on this one though.
I give ouch.
Yeah, ouchie.
All right.
Definitely an ouch. Do you want to see if we missed any others real quick?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a quick scroll.
Yeah.
10 swimming, uncle's house. What's the other barbed?
Oh, that's. Oh, I think this is the one they were talking about. Tree stand.
Yeah, I think I missed this one. Hold on, I'm gonna quickly check to see if there's a different one that I also missed to go back for. And just make sure I don't skip tree stand.
Tattooing a
Pokemon,
scar equals big
grandparents.
ouch. Maybe. You don't
Okay,
want
those
to
are- those
tattoo
are
a
the
new
new
scar.
ones. Those are the new
Okay.
ones that got added at the last second,
Ah.
which we'll go back to because it's just gonna put them all at the bottom. Okay, I was setting up a tree stand for deer hunting with my dad, and all of a sudden the tree stand falls under me, and my first instinct was to grab onto the tree and fireman slide down the tree. I suffered a 3rd-degree burn on my forearm, shredded both of my palms and 3 of my fingertips, and had a road rash on my stomach and bicep. I also broke my foot during PT while in basic training.
Wait, how do you break your? How do you almost break your foot during physical therapy?
I wish we had the context for that one. I'm so curious.
I know.
I'm
I would say that
assuming
was
you just
brutal.
tried way too fucking hard, is my guess. But I should also clarify.
I don't like this.
Oh, physical training, not
Hey.
physical
Yeah.
therapy.
Sorry, I've always
Good
seen
catch.
Physical therapy being
I was
abbreviated
I
as
was in the
PT.
same I was in the exact same boat as you. I did not even consider. I'm still stuck on the 3rd-degree burn.
Yeah.
I stopped at that point. That's
Yeah,
where I
no,
was like, oh,
that's gonna be a brutal for me.
yeah.
Like a rope burn 3rd degree. Like you have to be experiencing that the entire time as it happens slowly. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh.
And you can't just let go because then things are gonna get worse if you're like, trying to get to a safe distance down. Like,
Right.
that's just a damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Correct. That is terrible.
Yeah, I definitely
That's
am leaning brutal. That's just badge.
I'm leaning brutal
Badge.
on that. Yeah, that's
Brutal all around?
nope. Brutal all
Brutal.
around, I think. Yep.
Alright. Now we're gonna go back to where we were. 9. Bandage, steel plate, strength training, werewolves. That's weird. In a weird order.
I was gonna
All
say,
right.
and werewolves.
Werewolves! Okay, here we are. So we're gonna separate this submission into 2 different ones. The first story. When I was going down a hill on my scooter very fast, I used my foot as a brake. Flung off the scooter, rolled onto the ground, scraping knee and elbow. That's just the first one. I think that's a pretty average injury, and when I would go weak on this one. Scrapes and scooters, that's kind of par for the course, I think.
Yeah.
I've done the exact same thing before. I've gone downhill on a scooter before and I flung off of it and I scraped my hand mostly. It
I was gonna
hurt,
say
but, like,
I have it. Oh,
I don't really think about it.
yeah. Like I feel like this is like a rite of passage one. I have like
Yeah.
I have a little bit of a funny one
Okay.
that like is related. This is probably like one of my funny weak ones, but ages ago when I went through the mortal schooling system, I was running late for school one day, and my bike had a flat tire. My scooter was broken, and I only had one thing left I could ride to possibly make it to school on time. And it was a
Lordy
ripstick,
to
the
prime
two-wheel
suck.
skateboard.
Oh no.
I had never figured out how to ride it, but I decided screw it and took it out. And I started figuring it out and was feeling pretty confident about it. But the route to my school had a extremely steep hill, like 45 degree, actually worse than 45 degree angle. And it is not something you should safely ride down or ride up. Well, I mean, it's just hard to ride up. But I was late, and I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling good about this. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna ride down, and it's extremely long, and I was getting a ton of speed, and there was a street light showing up soon, and I had the realization of horror, as I thought, I don't know how to stop.
Oh, wait, so you didn't confirm with yourself how to properly brake before doing any of this?
Nope.
Oh,
course not.
you dummy.
And so I was getting closer to the street light and realizing that, and I was like, I need to do something. And I had an idea that I thought would work. I jumped backwards
What?
off of it.
What? What did you think was going to happen?
Look, I was much
Why?
younger then, and I didn't exactly have an understanding of physics.
What kind of plan is that? I don't understand how we got to that idea. That should have been Plan Z. That was your Plan B?
So I jumped, and my feet touched the ground, and I proceed to be flung forward about 30 feet.
Okay, wait, hold on. Back up. Not only did you decide to jump off of it, but you also thought you could just land on your feet. You didn't
I
even
was-
consider the fact that you were gonna probably have to roll or something. Like, you were just like, nah, man, I'm just gonna... Like, it's like, take a step back, but in
No,
midair with velocity and magically land on my
this
feet.
this was before Dark Souls. No, unfortunately, I did not have an understanding of that at the time. So my feet touch the ground and I blast forward, roll like 30 feet until like I'm back on the asphalt, legs up on the concrete, and just like taking a breath for a second. And a fire truck rolls in, and I basically am like surrounded by everyone, and they're like, "Are you okay? Did you hit your head?" Like I look at them and I'm just like, "I'm okay. It's just a Monday," and immediately all of them lose all attention, and I ask them to like. Apparently, someone called thinking that I was hit by a car,
I mean,
and
that's probably what it looked like when you decided to, in front of incoming traffic, decided to catapult backwards and die on the side of the road.
Yep.
And then be like, this is just a normal Monday, guys.
Yep, just
Like-
a Monday. But so by this point I was late to class, so I asked if they could like give me a lift and help me get like an excuse for being late. And so like my clothes are like torn up a bit at this point. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm like looking worse for wear. I show up to my first period class, and my friend next to me, who I sit next to, looks at me and just like, "You're the fucker who got hit by a car?"
You fucker.
Oh wait, I just realized this was the story that would have looked way better if it was actually me getting hit by a car.
Yeah. 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 Holy mother of God. I'm still stunned on the jumping off the skateboard part. Like, I can't seem to walk myself past that decision. Did you at least learn how physics worked after that? Like, did you mentally understand what went wrong?
Yes. I did learn. Like, I am much wiser and smarter than I was back then. At the time, I was not aware of how that worked.
The young Huntling did not understand gravity and physics.
You know,
Inertia,
young
what
Huntling-
is that?
Yeah, young Huntling had so much to learn.
I see you learned the hard way.
I unfortunately, I do that quite often.
I mean, it is the best way to learn sometimes. Sometimes that's all we got. But that was the first of 2 stories on here. So let's see how their second one is.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did I end in that? Okay, here we go. I found it. I can read. When I was on my bike on my way to a potential job, I got 5 bombed by a bird. I'm sorry. What does that mean?
Dive bomb.
Dive bombed. Thank you. I was
Yeah.
not following. Swerved
you're
my
good.
bike off the bike trail and crashed it, scraped my wrist. This is a bonus story. So that is the full story. There's actually a 3rd story in here.
There's 3 stories?
It says bonus story. I'm assuming
Look,
that's a separate one.
Look, I'm sorry. Your mother would say that, you know, you have to let other people have a turn on the X injury story.
You know, there's definitely people here who submitted multiple stories in separate submissions, so at least this person owned up to the honesty of having one singular submission. I'll give him that. Before diving forward, I wonder if this person is Australian. I've heard the birds there are quite vicious.
Eyes in the ibis.
That's my wonder. I've heard so many stories of like the seasons where the birds just decide to attack people. I'm still kind of leaning weak, honestly. This lands like a bike injury. The only element that's unique is the bird.
I'd give it a week. I'm gonna give it a week.
What are we thinking, Fifi?
Yeah.
Week? Oh, damn. This guy's got 2 weeks in a row. It's probably not feeling too good. Let's see how our bonus story lands, though. As a young kid, I did jump off random surfaces. For whatever reason, I'd always land on my feet. But this one jump I did was when I ended up with quite an injury that was kind of bad. I lost consciousness from the blow of the fall right on my head. I feel like this is the worst one. I feel like we should have started with the I was dumb and kept jumping off things and eventually it didn't work out so well. I'm gonna give that the ouch. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can have that. Let's give that an ouch.
Jesus. Please tell me you learned after that one to stop jumping off surfaces. Please tell me that was the lesson point. Now, when I was a kid, I did some pretty stupid shit. Like, I used to so my house was set up kind of in a circle, right?
Mhm.
So, like, you had 2 doors in the kitchen, and those 2 doors linked to hallways that linked to the living room, so you could run in a loop. And child me thought that that was really fun, and I would just run around at high speed and go as fast as I can, till eventually, like, I got a little dizzy and started making the loop shrink in size, and instead of running through the hallway door, I just faced right into the wall and fell backwards. But I mean, I'm fine. It was just me being stupid. I was on the ground for like 5 minutes, got up and kept going. Like, I didn't learn anything from it.
Real for that, honestly.
But I feel like as kids, we kind of learn the hard way the limitations of what our body can handle. You just really tested the waters with jumping for some reason. Excuse me. Okay.
How you both feeling?
Yeah, how are you guys feeling?
I'm doing great.
I'm Gucci. My throat's a little screwed, but it's been screwed for a month and a half, so at this point, my throat can suck it. I don't give a shit.
Oh. You have been fighting.
Suck something.
Whoa!
Go ahead.
Pee-pee!
I had to. You walked into it.
I did. Luckily, he has 1 brain cell and missed the joke, so we're good. We're Gucci.
Wait, who has 1 brain cell?
You agreed to having 1 brain cell at the start of this stream.
Oh, you're right.
You did?
I'm gonna. You know what? You're right. You need to borrow it.
Yeah, thank you. It's mine now. But no, I'm actually gonna be getting a X-ray done to make sure that I'm not like dealing with walking pneumonia or some shit. Because by
Good.
now it should have gone away. I've tried every med under the sun, and I've gotten a lot better. Like if you saw me last week, this is definitely an improvement. But man, it literally was like the 25th of February when this started. Like this is stupid.
Are you coughing a lot?
Mm-hmm. Almost consistently.
Oh.
So here's what I would suggest as like an at-home remedy. Okay, have you seen any of the Vicks sinus inhalers?
Oh yes, I have a Vicks nebulizer.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say like a Vicks like sinus inhaler. You
It's
can
god
get
tier.
them, yes, they even have like little like vapor like trays of,
Yeah.
like methylatum, and it's just like a concentrated humidifier, and you just
Yeah.
like breathe in all the humid air and methylatum.
I
Although
got
try,
one.
like-
I got one a while ago for singing purposes. I didn't realize until when I got sick this time that it can really help with my throat. But I need to get more of the insert pads because the menthol is what really kicks it into gear, and I am out of the insert pads. Yeah.
They also make some for your shower.
Really?
Yeah, so vapor shower pods for Vic.
I might be making a run to CVS tonight.
Good.
That sounds nice.
I can't remember where I saw it. It might have been at CVS or Amazon, something like that.
I mean, I'll check it up. I feel like CVS typically carries a lot of Vicks products, so I feel like they'd probably have it. I know I've seen I've seen bath salts that are Vicks that you actually like get into the bath with them, and I've wanted to try those. But
Yeah,
at
they
the
just,
same
like,
time,
dissolve in your shower, and it gets like methylatum, like shower vapor.
Oh, that sounds so nice. It sounds so good. Ugh. I'm so tired of coughing because it's literally interrupting everything I do. I tried to do some singing this morning and I got like 3 lines in and then I was like, and I'm like, yeah, this fucking sucks. I hate it here.
I understand. I coughed for almost 5 months.
No, wait, what?
Oh.
5 months?
Wait, what?
Yeah, I don't know why. I just did. I tried everything.
Oh.
It just went away a couple months ago.
I'm glad it went away. Jesus fuck.
Yeah, for real.
5 months? Okay, now I'm a bit more
maybe closer to,
terrified.
like 4.
I'm a bit more terrified now.
Y'all need to take care of yourselves. I swear.
Artie, who's the god or goddess of health? I think I need to book an appointment.
Yes, the God tour, was it? The God tour?
The doctor, yeah. I need you to hook me up, bro. It all
Just be
comes
sure to
full
spell
circle.
it very carefully. There is going to be G-O-C-T-O-R and not G-A-W-K. Never mind.
Fuck. All right.
Very different. Very different.
We're gonna keep going.
Very
Jesus
different
Christ.
applications.
Fucking swear to God, man.
Yeah, I don't know if I coughed for so long because it was like the COVID or something.
yeah.
I got like long symptoms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I did.
It's possible because long COVID can present that way. I haven't. So I didn't have COVID this time around. I did have COVID before, and I did have a lingering cough. Mine didn't go that long, but I've heard cases where people have had it for like 5-6 months. So that's definitely possible.
It's
I had to have
not
been hell though. I'm so sorry. I'm glad you're feeling better now though.
Thank you. I mean,
Now
I didn't
you're
have,
full
like,
power.
the symptoms of COVID, but I was like, dude, this is not normal. It's
There's
gotta be
something
long
going
COVID.
around now that's just like everyone's getting stuck with a lingering cough. It's just poopy. But hopefully
over the
everyone
floor.
feels better.
Anyway.
But all right, this one says, don't think this reaches insane levels. 3 kids, 1 bike going down a very steep hill, 1 driving on the back pegs, me on the front handlebars, going down very fast said hill, thought it was a good idea to slam the brakes, throws me off the front. I think it's a good idea to try and run mid-air, get a few steps before sliding on a loose gravel road. I end up not rolling but sliding on my left shoulder, wearing only a white tank underneath. After sliding about a good 10 yards, I stood up looking like I was wearing a 1 shoulder strap dress, half white and half red. I passed out on my feet. My cousin caught me, so I'm told. Woke up having rocks being dug out of my back shoulder. Fun times. I don't know if I describe that as fun times, bro. You went into this going, nah, I don't think this is that insane. But I feel like this is more insane than some of these.
I do agree with that.
Not quite brutal, but definitely,
It's like a high ouch.
That's
ouch.
a high ouch. High ouch for sure. What do you think, Fifi?
God.
I mean, they didn't really talk about how much it hurt too much.
True.
However, I think just because of the first sentence alone, this person is like downplaying their story a lot.
Yeah, it feels like it's being downplayed.
Yeah. So in my opinion, I think this is a brutal.
Oh, you make a solid point. Because if they're downplaying it and the last sentence is rocks being dug out of the back and passing out, you actually make a really solid point. I
Yeah, they
might
did
be
pass out.
changing my vote. Yeah, I think I might be changing my vote.
Ooh, that's true. If they passed out.
How hard would you have to hit the ground for the rocks to get dug into your back so hard they have to actually be pulled out?
That would be actually. You know, when you phrase it like that, I'd say brutal.
Yeah, I think I'm changing to brutal.
Yeah, I'm like, they're skipping over details in the effort to downplay their own story.
Good catch.
That's true. They're trying
think
not
this
to
is
hit
brutal.
brutal. They're trying not to hit brutal.
Well, too bad. Fifi outsmarted you. You fooled us too, but Fifi outsmarted you. Read
Detective
between the
Fifi.
lines. That's the next outfit, Detective Fifi.
Detective Fifi would go hard.
It would go very hard.
Good
I'm also a
thinking. Take
sucker.
notes.
I'm a sucker for detectives. Just saying. Totally not biased in any way, you know. But if you magically decide on a Detective Fifi design, like, you know, my DMs are open. Just so you know. Anyway.
Okay. Noted.
Yeah, noted. Take notes. Take notes. Back in the day, I learned the reason our parents always used to yell at us not to run barefoot. One day, I was running around to the other side of my friends barefooted in order to get to the garage to help and grab something. As I was jogging around, I felt pressure on my foot. Initial shock of pain, and as I hopped to one foot, I went down to check what happened. I see a massive cut from in between my big toe all the way down to near the connection of the big toe bone to the foot. Blood was gushing everywhere. I had to hobble my way back into my friend's house and promptly got taken to urgent care. I think it was 6 stitches. When we were finally back, I double checked what I stepped on. It was a metal garden divider.
Oh.
A metal garden divider. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know gardening. I don't garden. I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah, I don't either.
The two places I've lived, gardens and backyards, were divided by either like big high wood fences or big tall brick fences. So a metal spike. Thank you, someone in chat, for confirming, because I'm like, what the fuck is this? I don't know what this is.
Thank you.
The context of metal spike pushes me to ouch, I think.
I'm gonna say ouch.
Yeah, I would say ouch.
'Cause that sounds pretty bad. That sounds pretty bad. I don't know if I'd go all the way to brutal, but that does sound pretty bad. Yeah, that's a. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, yeah, another Pokemon. Wow. You gonna find barbed wire in this one?
Wait. There was one scientific thing we must keep note of. Which Pokemon game they're playing when they get hurt.
True. The last one was Sun and Moon. This one says Pokemon Diamond.
Right.
All right. I was visiting my
science.
grandparents as a kid. While I'm there, I often sit on the floor in front of the fireplace, including when the fire was going. While playing Pokemon Diamond one day, the fire was going and my whole back felt really warm, especially my right shoulder. It turns out a loose spark or candle or something had caught my shirt and it was on fire, but I didn't even notice, except for the occasional sting. Well, at first. When I noticed, I freaked the hell out, to which my granny sprung into action and slapped the fire out with her bare hand. It was insane because how many folks do you know can say they were on fire? Surprisingly, I didn't scar from it, but my shoulder looked like it was made of rocks for a few weeks.
Why is everyone's bodies turning into rocks?
I love the concept of, man, I really have to catch this drift bloom, and you're just like casually like waving the fire on your shoulder off when you're like, I can only catch it at this time. Go away, I'm trying to catch it. Literally on fire. I like the context. That said,
Right.
I don't think on fire would go to weak, but it's definitely not a brutal. I think this lands an ouch.
I see.
How we feeling, team?
I'm thinking a week because they put it out fast enough to where, like, there wasn't particularly any, like, there wasn't really a big injury there. It was very minor.
True. I see that. What do you think, Fifi? You're a tiebreaker. Ouch or weak?
Damn.
The pressure.
So, Artemis, I was leaning towards your thinking at first.
Is it the
Especially
shoulder made of
since
rocks?
it said. Well, it says it just said surprisingly it didn't scar. But my shoulder looked like it was made of rocks.
Yeah,
for
that
weeks. I'm
implies
okay,
like
so
a pretty bad burn.
Yeah, like the made of rocks part is the part that makes me like think ouch. Cause like otherwise it's like yes, I'm not hearing like any pain.
So I
Someone
thought that too, but I went back and reread the story a little bit, and they said I didn't even notice except for the occasional sting at first.
Ah.
So then it started to really hurt, and I was like, okay, imagine a story. You get the fire on your shoulder, then it starts to really hurt, and then you start freaking the hell out, and then they stop the fire, and then you have a burn for a few weeks. I'm like just thinking the pain of a burn.
Yeah.
You know what?
They kind of skipped over that part, but there's no doubt it was there. So that's an
Yeah,
out for me.
You know
Yeah, that does feel like they kind of just glossed over that part, but implied it.
that's fair. You know what? I will also move to an ouch.
Also, the reason why I lost my shit halfway through is someone in chat went, man, this guy was trying to cosplay the Human Torch. And it started sending me. I just wasn't expecting it. I just saw it in the corner of my eye, and I was like, damn, man!
I wasn't prepared.
You can't do him like that.
Okay, they said in chat, oh no, it did hurt.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, ouch.
Big
I wish I was Johnny Storm. I mean, you've gotten closer than most people, I can say. And you live to tell the tale. It's important, right? Burns are scary. I think actually, like, if we're gonna go down the line of, like, ways to die that are really scary, fire is one of my tops, like, absolute top fears. Fire just freaks me out, man. Like, it's really pretty to look at. But the idea of, like, being on fire... That's a no.
Bullshit.
Big no.
Alright, when I was a junior in high school, I went to prom with a girl I had a crush on at the time. Our school, like many, also had an after-prom event for the attendees that included games and other activities. One of the things they had was an inflatable obstacle course where you would race others to see who got through the fastest. On the final hurdle of the course, I heard a loud pop, and I immediately knew something was wrong with my foot. 10 minutes later, my foot had swollen to the point where I couldn't even put my shoe on. Not wanting to ruin my date's night, I stayed until the event ended and still drove her home afterward. I still haven't met anyone who doesn't laugh when I tell them about the time I broke my foot on an inflatable during my high school prom. Yeah, that last sentence is pretty solid. Yeah, this is literally such a guy story.
Just like, no, I'm still going to not have her know I'm hurt.
I love the context of it's an inflatable obstacle course that was definitely supposed to be foolproof, and yet you still found a way. You still found a way to be the problem.
Life finds a way.
Still found a way to be the problem.
That's so good, dude. Insane dad lore. That is the vibe of this.
Incredible.
This is literally
dad lore.
like How I Met Your Mother's stupid stories.
I was just trying to say how I met your mother.
Yeah. You know, when your foot's swollen, it hurts like hell, especially trying to walk on it. And the context that you played dumb and even drove on it later, I think I'd give it an ouch for that reason.
I'd give it a thumbs up, champ, out of 10.
You're like,
Didn't
respect.
tell her you broke your foot.
Yep. Thumbs up, champ. You did your best, champ. Give a
God.
little edge
Angel,
there.
this is Guy's story. He's applauding the dude.
No, remember earlier when I said that he probably submitted most of these stories? This is just secretly an Artie story, and he's patting himself on the back right now.
No, I've never broken my foot. I broke other things.
I've never broken a bone. I've dislocated a
Me
few,
neither.
though.
I have a... Oh,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna be dumb. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I have a very silly story where I broke a bone, and I'm not sure where I broke it.
Wait, how did you break a bone? Be aware that you broke a bone, but be unaware of where the bone is broken.
I think it might be story time.
I think it might be story time.
It might be.
So- Just a little bit, just a little story as a treat.
Just a little story.
So, when I was younger, I used to fight a lot. Like, for sport, more particularly.
I mean, you are the god of the hunt. This tracks.
Exactly. However, when I was much, much, much younger, I was fighting people I shouldn't have. Say, like, I believe in high school, I was fighting, like, a Navy SEAL. And...
Wait, what?
I
I'm
did not
sorry,
win.
that
I
processed
did not
very
win.
slowly.
Yeah. So
Fucking
here's the
idiot,
thing.
bro.
No, I did good. It was a good fight. So here's the thing: is I fought like someone else before, but so here's what the thing would happen. I was fighting with weapons first,
Uh-huh.
and then I go and fight the Navy SEAL, and like I'm holding my own, but like he's slowly like wearing me down. Like both my arms are pretty roughed up. My right leg is like kind of roughed up, so I'm just like kind of keeping it like back for a second with like one leg, like just like kind of sweeping, just to catch my breath for a second.
Uh-huh.
And he starts getting like really cocky and starts like dancing around and laughing a bit. And so I noticed like he let his guard down for a second. So I do one sweep forward, pull back, and get full strength, like punch him straight dead in the chest. And like he was a smoker, and that knocked him on his ass for a second hard.
Good job.
And then he got up, he threw a kick, I caught it, he span in the air and kicked me in the throat.
Wasted.
So I'm on my ass, and and so he goes, stop. I'm gonna give you a check over to make sure you didn't break anything. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm just gonna chill here for a second. And he gives me a full body check over, and he's like, all right, so your throat's fine, but your arm is broken. And I look down, and we look at my arm, and you just see like a little poke against my skin in my forearm. And apparently at some point throughout that day, I did not realize that I had broken my arm.
Oh my god.
What is this? Is your life anime?
Is your life anime?
I've had a very strange life.
I'm realizing I'm still stuck on the inner part of your eyelid getting caught in a door. I'm not past that. And that was like an hour and a half ago. Like, I haven't moved on from that one. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You're so lucky your throat was fine.
Yeah, no, honestly, like, I have not had too many instances of being, as they would say, dropped on my ass. That was definitely one of the biggest.
Yeah. Dude, that's wild. I never got into fights. I've always been very physically weak. So my battle strategy when I was younger was look really intimidating and act like I will beat the shit out of you. So that way we never have to actually get into a fight. Because then I will lose.
Okay, so you are Angel, winner of default victories.
Yes. Yes. If they just assume that you'll win, then they don't try. Unless they're stupid, and I'm realizing you were one of those.
Yeah, look.
I mean, you started the story with a Navy SEAL, and I was like, I'm sorry, hold on.
Look, I in my defense, I did win most of my fights, but because of winning most of my fights, I wanted to fight stronger people. It was not a good idea. I had some fun fights. I did not win those fights.
I can't believe you. Oh my god.
Oh god. Actually, wait. One more. That's like a tag on.
Okay.
Another guy who after this went into the army, into the military, and I was the only person who would fight him hand to hand. And like this was still around the same time as the Navy SEAL guy, because those two knew each other. And he knocked me on my ass for a second, and I was taking a second to catch my breath. And for some reason, he decided to jump in the air and double full body knee drop on my rib cage. Twice.
Huh?
Full body weight, jump in the air, double knee drop on my rib cage.
And your rib cage didn't go and die?
I never did get that checked.
Why is Artemis fighting members of the military?
Military regularly? I don't know! I don't know, Artie, why were you?
Look, there was actually a reason for this. I had someone I had an old friend that I wanted to beat in a fight, but he was exceedingly much stronger than me, albeit much older than me, but much like the strongest person I'd known at the time. And so I was trying to get to a point where I could beat him because he always kicked my ass.
That's usually when you go, Mom, Dad, can you enroll me in a martial art? Not, I'm going to beat my way through school, but I applaud the ideals here.
I mean, look, there's a lot of stories just on the fighting alone.
I'm realizing. I mean,
Look.
that's awesome and wild, and I'm glad you're okay, but I'm also extremely concerned about some of the decisions you must have made.
I mean, that's not wrong. Like, I did learn at one point to stop accepting fights with people I just met. I'm
Man,
realizing out
shonen
of context. Like, there was a time I almost accidentally killed a guy.
What?
In one, like, there
Calling
was
the
a guy.
cops. Hold on,
No,
911.
no. He was fine.
Just confess to a near murder.
Look, the guy
Near
didn't tell me he
manslaughter?
had a hernia.
Ah!
Oh.
And so we go into this fight. He takes a professional stance. I'm like, okay, maybe I can let loose a little bit. I run at him like full speed. He throws a punch. I duck under it, and full speed, full punch straight to the gut. And he
And he
proceeds
had a
to
hiatal
drop.
hernia.
Yes, he proceeded to drop on the floor and have a seizure.
Yeah, that tracks.
Oh,
And
no.
was this like the last fight that you ever did and like you learned your lesson, or was this like
No.
really early in the story and clearly no lessons were learned?
No.
There were many more fights.
You idiot. I can't believe
Look,
this.
okay,
bro.
but I did, however, learn the lesson not to simply accept fights with people on the first try who might have a hernia.
And young Artie was just attacking and hunting men with hernias, like, bro.
I only fought. Wait,
My man was a
I
fight
think
club.
there were several fight clubs.
I'm actually crying from laughing so much. Like, this is bad.
I'm so sorry.
This
No,
whole
you're
segment
good.
Is now just Artemis story time. It's
just
I'm
Artemis
sorry. I'm
story
not
time.
meaning to.
No, story time is
we
good.
love it.
I planned on us kind of like jumping around and telling stories. That was in the plan. I just wasn't expecting there to be so much arty on other people violence.
Okay, I have one last funny one before
Uh-huh.
we continue. There is definitely a lot of arty on other people violence, I've realized.
Person
but
has
sometimes
a
I've
hernia.
been
Arty, easy prey.
look, they didn't tell me beforehand.
You couldn't tell? Hiatal hernias literally pop the fuck out. Where were you looking?
His face. And then there was a time I got thanked for breaking someone's hand.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you got what?
I was thanked for breaking someone's hand.
Thanked? For
Yeah.
By them or by someone else? Like some other
No,
person?
by them.
just-
The person thanked me for breaking their hand.
Why? What? How many
Uh,
brain cells were they missing? How many
Actually, they
times
were
did you
very
hit them on
intelligent.
the head for them to lose the brain cells to then thank you?
Well, I mean, clearly I didn't hit their head. I hit their hand.
I think he had just about as much brain cells as Artemis did.
I
look,
agree.
I had plenty brain cells. No, so here was the thing. He told me that he was taking fencing and like learning, some different fighting styles in college.
Uh-huh.
And he was told that he needed to learn what it was like to lose properly and gain some humility. And he basically told me directly, "Hey, I would like you to fight me because I know you will not hold back and you will beat me and you will not to go easy on me." And I'm
I
like,
feel like fencers
okay.
by nature have to have humility. Because have you seen the kind of positions we have to
"No,
learn?
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so I was literally about to make a joke before you told the story, and then I just let you tell that. I was like, "Hey, thank you," because he finally found a worthy opponent.
Literally.
I taught
No,
him what it
that's
meant
exactly what
to
it
lose.
was.
Yeah, he was like, I need to lose to be humble. And you were like, all right, cool. I'm going to permanently damage your hand. Breaks it.
Yeah, so one of my, he blocked one kick from me, which proceeded to hairline fracture and, break his hand. Like,
At
in the
least
ce-
you
in the
didn't make
center.
this guy seizure, too. It could have been worse.
No, only one seizure.
Only one seizure. Good job.
One seizure, one hospital visit, and, a couple other things. But nothing Nothing too bad, I think.
Is your manager here? I need your manager to take notes that we need to have like an arty comic series of all the dumb fights you've gotten into. Like, I'm dead serious. This is literally like, this is content. Where's your manager? Manager, write that down!
God of
I
the
guess-
Hunt, coming of age.
Dude, for real.
Actually, wait, that goes hard.
It does. You don't even need to like make fake stories. Apparently, you have enough of them on your own. Please open up with the hernia. I will be expecting my cut sent to me via email. We're suggesting such a grand idea.
My God, there were good times. Very nostalgic to look back on.
Call up Trey and be like, "Bitch, do this."
I'm so
God.
sorry for all of that. I have a rule. If I ever go on a tangent of telling stories, you have all in full permission to tell me to shut up.
Oh, no. I very specifically like my collabs to be like podcasty yap style. That's my personal preference. I love hearing anecdotes and I love seeing people talk about stuff. So no, you're
the same
fine.
way.
Like I really like when people yap. I was hoping that was gonna kind of be the thing, as we were all gonna kind of segue into stuff we'd been through and stuff we'd experienced and cool little anecdotes, just because it's fun and we get to learn more about you guys. Like I learned you like beating up men with hernias, so you know.
Look, I didn't know he had a hernia.
Put that on his
I think that's just the excuse you use so the cops won't show up at your door.
I swear.
I gotta stop laughing. I'm gonna die.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Par for the course. That's how it works. Yeah, no, when you said he was a fencer, I was already like, cause like learning fencing was so fucking hard. It's so painful because you have to basically stay in a squat like the entire goddamn time.
Yeah.
Like, how are you not already humble from that?
Yeah, like fencing absolutely takes a lot of discipline. Like it was early on in him learning fencing because like he'd gone out, like he moved to like a new city in order to go to a school, and that school had like he'd started fencing, came back,
Wait a minute.
and asked me essentially to fight him.
I think I have a theory. You
Yes.
said you broke his hand.
Yes,
Was it his dominant hand?
I'm not
I think-
sure. It's been
I think he secretly wanted out of fencing class because it was too brutal. You were the excuse. The 5-brain plan is I can't fence, my hand's broken. Ma'am,
Big
can I
brain
sit on the
plays.
bench?
yeah.
God,
And he's the true winner here. So,
you were just a tool for his own devices.
God.
All right, well, we are at the 2-hour point. As I said, I didn't book the end of
so
this till
sorry.
9. No, not at all. So like, if you guys are feeling good, we can keep going. We can also just swap to yapping if we want to keep telling stories. Like, it's however you guys are feeling.
Yeah.
How we feeling,
I'm,
team?
I'm good with whatever.
I'm
I'm
like,
good for like another hour. But
Okay.
that's
I was
all
gonna say-
completely up to you guys. I'm just throwing that out there. But I'm here for like.
You're
so
chained
long.
to your PC quite literally, so you're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to yap no matter what I do, I guess.
Exactly.
yeah. I'm also down for whatever. Be it
Okay.
yap times, more responses. Which also, if we do want to come back to reading more of these another time, I'm absolutely down for that.
Yeah, I'd be
Same.
down to pick a day and schedule with you guys for a future one. I know WeebCon's coming up, so this post WeebCon I should be pretty open. Prior
Okay.
WeebCon, not so much, because I have decided to schedule way too many things in a very small time frame, which is on brand, unfortunately.
That's too real.
Yeah, I'm good
Yeah.
with whatever. I do have to use the bathroom really bad though.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Go idle meeting. Go do your idle meeting.
Okay, I don't mean
Idle meeting.
Idle meeting. Okay, I'll be sure to bring my microphone with me. Okay.
Yeah, you know, gotta do the idle meeting stuff in the bathroom because that's where we do it. That's where all idle meetings happen. Yep.
Also, I swear the chat's comments on all of these things.
I know.
I'm so sorry.
Some of these comments I've had to like hold myself back from absolutely fucking losing it because they're just so good. They're just so
Dude
good.
was the one that killed me. Dude was a Baki villain looking for a taste of defeat.
Yep.
I will say that was kind of true. Like the most memorable fights to me were the ones I lost.
I
in
feel
like a
like
good way.
failure is a really good teacher, whether we're looking at like physical activities or we're looking really anything that is something you're trying to hone, like a skill, right?
Because it gives you a new goal.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think
Like-
it's important to fail. People who don't fail a lot, they don't learn properly because they don't understand how to keep pushing forward.
I agree. Like, seeing a new bound where you can go. Like, there was a day where I fought 3 people in a row, and the third guy, the third guy was like one I will never forget. Like, in a row, the first guy. Oh God, I need to drink some water real quick. Hang on.
Yeah, all good, all good. I've been clearing my throat a lot too, so you're fine. It's allergy season too, so I feel like even if you don't have a cough, everyone's got something in their throats right now.
Just a little frog. But
Why are you eating frogs?
so the first guy, I beat him in 2 hits. The first hit put him on the ground. The second one put him on morphine.
What?
Yeah, I kicked the first one, got him down. The second one, I like kicked him in the center of his back, and he ended up having to go get some morphine for a bit later. He was fine later. He was fine.
He was on morphine.
The second guy lasted a lot longer, but he basically was like a punching bag, and to a point where like eventually I kind of like stopped taking it seriously, and I did like, we were on a hill, so I dove downwards and did a falcon kick. Literally, like I was like, he's not doing anything, so I'm just gonna fuck around now.
You can't call people punching bags. You can't do
Look,
that.
I'm sorry.
You can't do that.
I don't think he hit me. And then the third guy
Kicked your ass.
The third guy, go and throw a punch. He blocks it. I throw another punch. He blocks it. And then the next second later, it's like a string of like Dragon Ball Z style punches and blocks from both of us. Like, just, I think that's like the fastest series of like punches and blocks I've ever experienced in my life. And in the middle of all of that, he sneaks in like a kick directly into my gut that like I stand straight for, but the force of the kick, I slide back like 2 or 3 feet. And like I try to hold my ground for a second and then just collapse to a knee. I got up for a little bit more fighting, but I definitely lost that fight.
Man. Jesus, I can't even begin to picture this. I'm very skittish with pain. And all of the injuries I've ever had have been just from stupid things. And yet you're over here like literally living a different reality. Like you were straight up in a shonen anime. I don't know how or what or yeah, like ora, yeah, like dude, legit. I don't. Wild.
It was a fun era.
I'm sure that one definitely put you a little bit in like a oh man.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, like there's just a lot of good times and good fights.
Are you a
that's
fighting game
definitely
character on arcade mode? Yeah, he is. Yeah,
God,
he is.
I wish that's like a dream of mine, is to be a fighting game character.
Really?
Oh yeah, that would be incredible.
All right. Found out one of Artemis's main content goals: fighting game character.
But yeah, no, that's definitely where a lot of my pain tolerance came in. Like, I remember fighting. I've also done like a bunch of fighting hand to hand versus like shinai, boken, and swords.
Oh, all right. What's your preferred fighting style?
Ooh, that's tough. I really like Kempo. I kind of like stole a little bit from everything.
Mm-hmm.
I have a new respect for boxing. I didn't have
Really?
much respect from boxing when I was younger. Honestly, I'm not sure what I'd say my favorite is. Jiu-Jitsu's pretty good. Like, I really think Kempo is like one of my go-tos, though.
If I remember, Kenpo's all
Alright,
about
I'm back.
redirection, yeah? Welcome back!
Welcome back.
We're just yapping about fighting styles now. Fifi, did you ever do, like, martial arts or any sort of, like, physical sport or skill? No?
No.
My dad wanted me to do martial arts, and I refused, but we decided fencing was the good middle ground. Oh, bless you, buddy. It's okay.
Oh, bless you, buddy.
Oh, little guy.
It's okay.
Oh.
Come on. Get it out. It's alright.
Does he have a warm compress?
Not right now. I usually do it right after we nebulize him a bit, because we got a second nebulizer and created like a cat nebulization chamber for him. And I
Okay.
usually do the wet towel afterwards because he's a little bit more calm after that. When I try to do it now, he just freaks out.
It's a good little baby. Also, I just remembered the dumbest fight I think I've ever had.
And it's not the hernia story? There's one dumber?
Okay, this one's just funny.
Okay.
I don't remember even how, but I used to get really cocky about different types of fights. So like I'd go hand to hand versus like actual weapons.
Uh-huh.
And one time some guy had like, he was using like he was using a sword, like steel sword. And I was like, you know what? I don't need anything. You know what? Here, I'll use my jacket.
What?
And I proceed to like, I keep hitting with the jacket, but it's a jacket. But eventually, I wrap my jacket around the sword and rip it out of his hand, catch it, and throw it back to him. And then when I go to swing the jacket next, he cowers backwards, and a guy watching is just like, "Why are you afraid? You have a sword. He's using a jacket. What are you doing with your life?"
Jacket versus sword? What is this, Ranma? Dude, straight up.
Does that happen in Ranma?
Have you not seen Ranma?
I haven't seen much. I've seen little clips and snippets.
You need
looks
to watch
like
it.
I've
It's
heard
all
really
about
good
martial
things.
arts. Like, straight up. Yeah, it's all about martial arts, but then it's got
Ranma
like...
1/2.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Actually,
It's a romance, but it's all about martial arts. It's a fantastic show. High key. I like the remake that they're doing. I'm also very loyal to the original. I think if you like anime that has like romantic elements but is also martial arts focused, then this is like straight up something you'd enjoy.
Okay, I'll give that a shot.
Artemis was the inspiration for John Wick. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
No, I'm very amateurish with guns right now.
So, okay, you did a lot of fighting. Were there other like sports and that kind of stuff you were into? Stuff that might be a little bit less violent? Or was that like your whole deal? You were like, I fight and I am nothing else.
I did do a lot of fighting. At one point, I had an interest in soccer.
Soccer. Okay, that's fun.
I guess you could say I had fun playing almost any sport, as long as it's not watching a sport be played.
Got you. I get that. Yeah, I never really got into watching sports. I got really into track and field and running. That was really the only thing I got into. Team sports aren't really my thing. I wish I had done a little bit more physical stuff growing up. Like, I had some things, and then everything else was just theater. It's theater nerd bullshit.
Hey, but that's fun.
What about you, Fifi? What was young Fifi up to?
Not much.
Just living your best life. You were like, fuck all the stupid noise.
Tell us
Yeah,
the
I mean-
tales of little Fifi.
Yeah, let's hear
I
about
mean,
little
like,
Fifi.
well, I mean, I don't know. You brought up theater. I did take like one theater class, but that was like my attempt to try and make friends.
Oh, I feel that. I feel that's where a
Didn't
lot of
really
people
work.
first touch it is because high school theater and middle school theater is definitely kind of like a we're all outcasts sort of deal, but it's really hit or miss on if you blend with the people in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of kept to myself. I didn't really like do any clubs or anything.
No worries. That's absolutely valid. Outside of theater, all I did was play video games, so I can't really say I'm much different.
Well, I was also in advanced classes, so I didn't really have time to do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I was too dumb for AP classes.
Sorry, I just was reminded of.
AP.
I was reminded of a thing.
Oh,
Of the only AP class I ever took.
Which one?
Statistics AP.
Why would you pick statistics as your first and only AP class?
So here was the thing, is I basically was told the year before that my options were either to take what was basically a remedial class, the basic class, or the advanced class, and I told the teacher, I don't care which one you put me in, just don't waste my time.
So they said, here, have the hardest.
Yes, that is
my
exactly what happened. And the thing is, I actually don't know if I passed that class. When I was doing very poorly in it because I'm very lazy with homework. And it was the last credit I needed to graduate. And it all relied on the final exam. And my teacher, when I went to hand him the paper, he's just like, so this dictates whether or not you walk at graduation. I'm like, yep. And he just looks down at the paper, looks at me, he's like, I'll see you at graduation.
Oh. Oh.
He never told me the grade.
Oh my
That's
god.
funny.
Okay, well, if we're gonna talk about school stories where we slid through situations we're not quite sure if we should have, I have a fantastic story that chat's heard me recount quite a few times. So, in my friend group, I was the dumb one, right? Like, I mean this in a non-offensive way. Like, my skills are not academically. I'm not stupid in all ways, but I'm really stupid at bookwork. And as a younger me, I had an issue with doing things that I thought had no value, right? If I thought this wasn't worth my time, you were not going to be able to convince me to do it. There was no way. So I was in, it was the last math class that was like mandated for high school. And the teacher was kind of really mean. And she had this really fun system that she called the wish system. Every student was allowed to make one wish, but it had limitations, right? Honestly, her limitations were vague. Her limitations were as long as she believed that it worked in her favor, she would take it. So like you could ask to retake one test, or you could do one piece of homework later in the future, but it had limitations. But me being me, I went, I bet there's a way I can use this one to my advantage. So everyone else burnt through their wish in the first month, and I held on. And I didn't do a single piece of homework the entire year. Not one.
No.
Not one.
No.
Because I had a plan. And I workshopped that plan. I did okay in the tests. I mean, I studied with my friends. I just refused to do the work. And then we're getting to the last week, and I'm like failing because I haven't turned in anything. And I walk up to her, and I'm like, okay, I want to use my wish now. She goes, you can't just wish all your homework away. And I'm like, no. No, it's more of a deal. I'd like to use my wish to turn in all of the homework for the entire year tomorrow completely done. You grade it fairly, and if I pass, I pass. Now, the key point is I had already realized she has to grade all the tests. She cannot grade 350 pages of homework and those tests. So I just need to trick her into thinking that I did it all right. She takes the bet because she did not realize I was smart enough to see that. And so I call my friends and I'm like, guys, I need your help. I got a plan. What we did is we got all the homework together. We did the first 6 pages and the last 6 pages. Everything in between, we only did the first 3 questions. Everything else was just scribbles. But I knew she wouldn't read it all. So I show up and I drop the stack in front of her and she's dumbfounded. And sure enough, she checks the first few seriously, starts panicking and scrolls through the rest, and then looks at the last page, skipping everything else. And I passed the class. I found out from my friend who was a year younger, she abolished the wish system the next year.
I was gonna say, are you the kid that ruins it for everybody?
Yeah. And I feel like this story like captures my personality perfectly.
That may be one of the greatest loophole stories I've ever heard.
She was so mad at me, but I got through the class. That's what matters.
That's incredible.
And I did like none of the work.
What was you saying, Fifi?
I was gonna say, she was the one who accepted it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
she done fucked up. I thought it was really
That was her
stupid.
fuck up.
I made me so mad when she was like, here, we have this system you can utilize to if you're smart on how you do it, you can manipulate the system to your favor. But like she made a manipulation system, but didn't think about like how far that could be pushed. And it just made me so pissed. I was like, this is dumb, man. Like, this is a dumb system. You should have just collectively let everyone skip one test or something. Like, why did you give this really vague thing? Fuck that. I'm gonna prove to you it's a stupid system.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah, so, and I don't feel bad about it at all. I really don't. Like, that was so stupid. And I'm never gonna use, like, it was trigonometry, that's what it was. I'm never gonna use trigonometry in what I do. I don't know why it was mandated as a class. Like, maybe if I was going into a career that required it, but who uses trig that is just like a regular Joe? I don't use trig to make coffee. Come on. But yeah, so that's my silly hee hee hoo hoo from when I was younger.
That is a really funny tee hoo hoo funny. That was actually just incredible.
I loved like outsmarting people. I didn't like physically beating people, but I really loved to be like, I'm smart, but I wasn't smarter than my friends. Like, I was the idiot in the group, which just made me more vicious in that regard because I had every opportunity to have to, like, upstage people and constantly not upstaging people because they were all smarter.
Are you smarter than a 5th grader?
No.
Oh, no.
Have you guys ever actually, like, watched that show and tried to answer along with it?
Yes, of course.
Were you guys good at it? Because I was not.
No.
I'd be curious how I do now. But I think I did fine.
Did I hear a new stream segment? Are we smarter than a 5th grader?
Wait.
I'm down.
I have new game show ideas.
New game show ideas. Okay, but you have to invite me just so I can show that I'm not.
You know, you need a redemption arc.
Hey, I climbed to 2nd place. That is my redemption arc.
Which I need to eventually. I want to drag Fifi into one day.
Yeah! Fifi game
Yay.
show. Game show. Game
I'm
show.
not good at trivia. I mean, like, I know I took, like, AP classes, but, like, I'm not good at trivia.
Oh, don't worry. So I cater my game shows to who I'm bringing on, or like a theme. But I have many silly ones. Andrew got to be there for bullshit video game show.
I still can't believe you had Monokemia in there. I'm still reeling over that. Like, that's such an old school JRPG, man. I love it, but no one fucking plays JRPGs. Love JRPGs.
You do, and I love you for it.
JRPGs.
Angel loves me. I do love you. I love you so much.
Fifi. Aw.
She's cuddling me. Back off.
Okay, fine. I'm over here.
Nuzzle,
I've-
nuzzle. Nuzzle, nuzzle.
I'll just hold my hand.
Just picturing like a little comic strip, and you're just like in the corner, like it's like the nobody knows I'm a VTuber meme, but it's just you sadly in the corner.
Holding my own hand.
No, Artie, self-hand holding is lewd. You can't do that on stream.
Wait, self-hand holding is lewd?
Yeah, you can't do it on stream. There's a rule
Are you
about that
saying-
somewhere.
We can't love ourselves?
Not on stream, no. We can only self-appreciate.
Oh, okay.
So the rules.
Those are the rules.
やばいな、やばい。
You'll bet. Oh my god. Oh my Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there were any other like wild stories I can think of that are good. But I don't think anything can top the one I just gave.
I just thought of I think what is considered to be probably like, not my wildest story, but one of my wildest stories.
Okay, more wild than the hernia man?
It's a bit questionable. It's a Japan story.
Oh, okay.
First, Fifi, do you have a story you want to tell?
Yeah, do you have any stories that you want to tell? It doesn't even have to be school related. Just like a moment that stands out to you as like a, man, that sure was a time. And if not, that's valid. Don't feel pressured.
I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, my brain does mushy.
To be
Cannot
fair,
think.
you've been streaming for how many days straight now?
8.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's incredible your brain's operating at all.
Facts, which also, everyone, raise that timer. Fifi's so close to more goals.
Yeah!
More goals are more goals.
Plus, don't you guys
And-
want Fifi Cup? Fifi
Exactly,
Cup!
that's just stonks.
Stonks.
Use code Angel.
Use code Fifi.
No.
What, Fifi?
What's your code, Artie? You have one, right?
I do have one. I do have one.
You have one, right?
It's code Wolf Job.
I'm sorry, can you say that again, but slower?
So here, yes, Fifi. Look, I'm just saying, I have a lot of wolves. In a modern day, we have to pay rent, so these wolves need to work.
Oh, this
So
fucker
we-
knows what he was
we
doing.
are
I don't believe this
employing
shit.
wolves with code Wolf Job.
Nah. Nah. X to doubt. We
Look,
know
are
what
you saying-
code.
I think he's telling the truth.
Exactly. Are you
I
saying
think
you
I've
would
heard this story before.
Exactly. You're saying you would not employ wolves? How else are we supposed to afford wolves? Wolves have to pay taxes in the modern day.
What? Where's
Look, the world has changed a lot. It's changed quite a bit.
True. That be true. Oh man. Oh god.
So yeah, exactly. So just make sure to employ wolves with code WolfJob.
Get your Fifi cup with code WolfJob.
No, get your Fifi cup. Get your Fifi cup with code Fifi. Where?
What? I'm sorry.
Code Fifi.
I had to...
Give code Fifi. Code
Code
Fifi.
Fifi. Code Fifi. Support Fifi. Your cup's really cool. I love it. I really love it.
Thank you. Would you like one?
Of course I would, but I will pay for it with my monies. Yes.
Aw.
I will put my
friends don't
monies.
pay.
Fine, then I will magically sneak money in your pocket somehow. I don't know how I'll do it. I'll call all the doves down from heaven and go, yo, this bitch needs her cash, and they'll find a way to get it to you. You'll like lift
You
up your
guys ever-
pillow and it'll be there.
Would you guys be able to get something sent to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
G-subs have like a way to get stuff to you?
They have my address.
I have wolves.
Wait,
You do
is
indeed have wolf jobs.
hold on. Is the wolf job a delivery service?
That is another job. Yes. They're. It's not wolf job. Well, actually, it is wolf job. But there are multiple wolf jobs.
This is like an entire corporation.
Wolf Job LLC.
Oh my god. You need to make a website so that way you can like defer people to it, and it just needs to be the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen.
It's gonna be wolfjob. It's gonna be wolfjob.com, and it takes you to my gamersubs code.
Yes, that'd be so good. I wonder, you could totally do that where it's a forwarding address. Like, you should do this. It's so good.
I am tempted. I am very tempted.
There's an entire wolf corporate ladder. So are you like the CEO or like what's
I am the CEO of Wolves.
Oh, okay. Who's your assistant?
Ben.
Ben? Is Ben a wolf?
He can be.
He can be. What does that mean? What does this insinuate?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
My singular brain cell is overheating. I think I need to trade it in for a new one.
That's fair. We have a wolf for that.
What?
We have a wolf for everything.
Brain cell replacement? A
Yes.
recycling surface? Oh my god. Jesus.
So Marty goes into Den of Wolves. Does he walk out Grananet?
No. We do not walk out. We do not walk out pregnant. No pregnant. No pregante.
Pretty sure. Pretty sure just got it confirmed right now. The wolves are hold on, I'm getting a beep in.
Whoa.
The wolves are telling me that is true. It's true. You have
No,
something you'd like to say on this matter?
だが断る。
You refuse? You
I
can't
refuse.
plead the fifth in this
I-
situation.
Refusing is not pleading the fifth. I simply refuse.
To elaborate, which when
No, I
people-
shall not be pregnant.
when people deny adamantly, that usually means there's truth hidden behind it. Just saying.
Why does everyone want me pregnant?
That's just how it works.
Fifi, save me.
Fifi and I are gonna look this way away from you and pretend that we have nothing to do with it.
Exactly. I'm totally not messaging gamer subs right now.
Are you waiting?
No! Oh my god, you little... You don't have to. Let us pay you. Let us give you monies.
Nope.
Let's give you monies. Well, chat, now you
Nope.
have to buy 2 cups. I don't know what to tell you.
Nope.
Because
Nope.
of this, you guys now have to buy 2 cups. It's
You
just
know
how
what?
it works.
They should. You guys should buy enough cups to hit 9,000 right now, so we can both
Yeah.
make over 9,000 jokes.
Absolutely. Right now. Over
If they-
9,000 cups!
Over 9,000.
If they do, I will give my own RRR for this one.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
We'll see how fast I can get an update. I'm not sure who's in right now.
Oh man, thank you guys so much for doing this. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I know it kind of just devolved into yapping, but
I'm so
Oh, no,
sorry.
I love
I
yapping.
no, good. It was good. I loved it. If anything, I'm like, I can never tell if when organizing specialty events, if I should be hyper professional about it, or if like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you guys want? What are you guys gonna enjoy? And I always worry because I'm such a fucking yapper. I don't know.
No, actually, I get that. I understand that. Like, there's definitely the difference between a catered experience, a casual fun time, a professional presentation. There's so many different things to think about when thinking about, well, like when arranging an event and inviting people to something and the expectations of that.
Exactly. And I just want to make sure that you guys have a fun time too, right? It's not just about chat. I want you guys to have a fun time. And I hope you did.
Thank you. Yes, I had a great time. I love yapping.
Yeah. No, I enjoy yapping with both of you.
Aww. I'd love to poke your guys' brains to do more in the future because we started with 47. We now have 61 responses.
Wait. How many did we make it through?
We got through 12, 6, 22. We got through 22 of 61.
Wait, we got through 22?
Yeah, we got through 22. There was a point where we were going through them pretty fast, actually. And then
I'm
we
not gonna lie.
derailed real bad.
That's way better than I thought we did.
Yeah. It's a good thing I was keeping score. We had more brutals than I was expecting too. I went into this thinking that it was going to be a lot of like really simple stuff, but more chatters between us have gone into barbed wire than I could have ever imagined. So
that's fair. Oh, I just realized we both saved one for the end, and neither of us told it.
Yeah.
Wait.
All right. You want to go first or me?
Fifi, you pick.
Me? Okay, well,
yeah.
You've already heard how I relocated my jaw with a burger.
That's still like incredible.
I guess it's time I tell you guys about the time I dislocated my neck. So when I was a young babu, early middle school, I was ironically laying against my bed playing Pokemon on my DS.
Okay.
Oh, the irony.
Yeah, just after all this, okay, poetic.
It comes full circle. And so I was just kind of chilling, getting ready for like school time to start, and I'm stretching, right? So I'm doing that thing where like you put your fingers, you interlace them, and then you stretch your arm forward, and then you pull your arms above your head, and you kind of like turn your neck left to right to snap it, right?
Right.
In the middle of that process, my body goes, hey, we're gonna have a chill right now, which normally isn't a problem, but that somehow turned into the instinctual choice for me to push my chin behind my shoulder. And I really don't know how I did it. In that moment, I had some sort of really concisive, quick movement that took my chin and it flipped it behind like I was the Grudge. So I was looking through my back. And it had snapped out, and then I immediately panicked and whipped my head back and snapped it back in place. And I waddled out screaming to my mother, and she took me to the ER. And they were like, wow, this is actually really impressive. You did not pierce your lungs and die. Thumbs up. And I was like, ah! And then I had to wear a cast for like 8 months, and I wasn't able to go to school for like a month and a half. And when I got to school, everyone had this rumor that I supposedly got broken up with my imaginary boyfriend that never existed, and that he beat me. And that's what they all thought my cast was. And I was like, do I tell them I just somehow dislocated my neck, or do I just let them continue with this wild-ass story that appeared out of nowhere? And needless to say, I didn't bother explaining this story to everyone, because how do you explain you dislocated your own neck because you were stretching? How do you explain that to a bunch of middle schoolers?
Angel.
But yeah, so
You
I
are
have
a danger
permanent
to
damage.
yourself.
I have permanent damage because of that one.
No.
I'm fine. I just I get dizzy sometimes. And I can't wear like really heavy jewelry or like super heavy hats. If I'm in VR, I have to really limit how long I'm in it, because like by the 3rd hour, my neck goes, hey, guess what? It's time to die. And I go, oh no. So that's my injury story.
Girly.
I'm good now. It's cool. I can be like, yo, I actually was the Grudge at one point in my life.
That's pretty good. You know what? That's a rad story.
Shit.
All right, Artie, your follow-up
How
now.
are you alive?
I don't know. I got really lucky because when they got in, the first thing they did was go, oh my God, your lungs might be pierced. Like, oh, that's the first panic. Because I mean, I was breathing really erratically because I was in extreme pain. But no, I just got incredibly lucky in that regard. Like I rolled a D20 on my life save. and hit 20.
Jesus Christ.
But I rolled a 1 on the stretch somehow.
Okay.
I played Dungeons and Dragons recently, so I know what that means now.
You play D&D with me! Play D&D with me!
I will. I really like
Yeah! It's so fun. And, like, there's just so much, like, freedom of choice. It's so good.
One
As
day,
long as
maybe
that's someone
I'll
to
care.
baby me.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm really new to D&D, too. This was my first year. Really getting into it. But I fell in love. It's so good.
Good.
Yeah, I played on Tabletop Simulator.
Hell yeah.
Oh shit. I was just messing with Tabletop Simulator earlier today.
There's a lot of good online programs for D&D. I've only done it IRL. And we set up like a big table with a TV inlaid in it. Like we go hard. And I really want to get like a batch of friends online to get more comfortable with the online version. It's a plural.
It was fun online.
I'm glad. I'm really glad you had a good first experience.
I'm glad too. Well,
It's your story
So-
time.
Wow.
it's my story time. So, so I've been stabbed on 3 different times.
Was it from fights or are these unrelated stabbings?
Unrelated stabbings.
Oh,
That sounds so
What?
bad.
how are you alive, Artemis?
I am simply built different, especially considering.
Fuck! You can't kill me like that, bro.
Jobs. I posted for it.
It's the
So
wolf job.
I also was stabbed in the chest, right above my heart.
Why?
Uh,
Did you steal a man's chicken nuggets? Like, what did you do?
No, honestly, I think the why is probably harder to explain than the what. But we can just simplify this as I was stabbed in the chest by a friend with the largest knife in the kitchen block. Walked up to me and just stabbed me right in the chest.
Were you playing Pokemon? Important context.
No.
I felt like you had to think about it.
I had to think about what we were doing because like there was like we were hanging out beforehand and there was like a bunch of other stuff, but I don't think Pokemon ever happened that night.
I'm just trying to figure out the escalation of I'm hanging out with my friend, we're chilling, we're playing games. Oopsie, I got stabbed in the chest. Like, what?
Yeah. And then so he stabs me in the chest. I look down at the knife in my chest, and I look at him, and my first words to him were, "You know we gotta clean this shit up, right?" And so I pull the knife out of my chest.
No!
Well, here's the thing: is my thought process was, if I was stabbed in the heart, I would have been on the ground convulsing and dying. And so I was like, you know, if I'm not dying actively unless I'm more built different than I thought, it didn't pierce my heart, was my assumption. So we walked to the nearest CVS.
You
And it
walked?
was like 3. I walked with the hole in my chest, and I'd taken off my shirt since, you know, hole in my chest and bleeding out. And there's a new guy working. It was like 3 a.m, and I look at this guy and say, "Look, I know you have a no shirt, no shoes policy, but as you can see, I have a hole in my chest, and I could
As you can
really
see,
use a first aid kit."
I need to go to the ER. Get a fucking Band-Aid from the CVS, bro. The
So-
fuck kind of logic is that?
So I
My man's
So I
showing
bought-
up tank.
I'm starting to understand why he jumped off that skateboard more and more.
Wait, what do you mean? So I buy the first aid kit, patch myself up. I wake up, and apparently sometime throughout the 6 to 12 hours I was asleep, the bandage had ripped off and I bled through the night.
I mean, yeah.
I had a very woozy next 2 weeks.
The blood loss. Did you never go to the hospital? Did you just not?
Uh,
Oh,
He didn't. He didn't.
Hospitals are expensive.
I'm getting you a life alert.
What do you mean?
I'm getting you a fucking life alert. I can't. I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night and be like, fuck, I have to check on Artie. He might be dying. Be like, have you been stabbed today? Did you jump off a train today? If your limb has been cut off, don't just leave it in the ice bucket. Go to the ER.
No, I don't think I've ever had anything cut off before, but besides the minor
Yet.
surgery bit.
Yet. Yeah, it's get a baby monitor.
I'm so
Please.
sorry.
If you ever get a new background, Artemis, I need you to put a baby monitor right there.
Oh my
I need
god.
yeah, just add a baby monitor to your background.
Someone get me a baby monitor PNG. I'll just add it and just hide it there, and it'll just change places every day.
Jesus. Wait, why is it moving?
Why isn't it moving?
But I
I think
Actually
I killed
died.
Angel.
Oh my god. I have laughed too much today. I didn't think this was gonna be such a funny stream, but this has been a fucking riot. Jesus Christ.
I mean, I knew it was gonna be a great time.
I was hopeful.
Y'all are great.
I was hopeful. I was worried about the kind of stories mainly. Because I know like injury stuff can be really hit or miss with some people.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I think it can be really fun to look back on like for the stories that we gave, right? We're fine. We've grown, we've learned. It's not like we're idolizing bad choices. But sure
Right.
was a funny occurrence looking back on it, right? Kind of like I guess like a nostalgia trip, but in like a wow, I was dumb kind of sense. But not everyone can take it that way. Sometimes it kind of leans more into like a unsavory memory kind of area, or like some people are just really squeamish and can't enjoy these kind of conversations. So I'm really glad that like that part went as well as it did. That was where my biggest concern was.
That's fair. Like, I feel like everyone handled it pretty well.
I still
was-
remember the
it was
first time
tasteful.
someone was like, what was it they said? Something flesh. My brain's saying
Oh,
rotting.
ruined flesh.
Ruined flesh, and all three of us recoiled. I remember as the words came out of my mouth, everyone was like, ugh, and I watched you both like go, ugh, ugh.
You know, ruined flesh is not a bueno one.
Oh god.
But I guess
Yeah.
I have no
But definitely
room to
not
talk.
poggers.
No, definitely not
poggers. If you guys have more stories to submit, you're free to put them into the forum. It sounds like we're probably going to do another one of these down the line. I really want to do a lot more collabs like this because, I mean, you guys know what it's like. It's so hard to get time together to hang out with people. But stuff like this kind of doubles as a hangout. But also, like, we get to learn so much about stupid shit that people have done or gotten into. That's just fun.
I'm sorry.
I can't believe how many stories you gave, and I have a sneaking suspicion you have many you have not told us.
I
Now, you guys will find out on the next episode, I guess.
I need us to like do another one of these, and we sneak around in there and don't tell that it was us until after the fact.
Oh my
that
god,
would be-
that's genius.
Oh, I love that.
Can we give chat the ability to predict whether or not they will guess the one at the end of the stream? They have to guess. They have to make a collective guess.
That would be really. Oh, I like that actually.
Oh, I think I'm locked in on this.
Okay. Also, I have enough stories that hand me a glass of whiskey and you'll get Drunkle Artemis stories.
Oh, this would have been
Drunkle
so
Artie.
good as we take a sip every time we brutal.
Oh, that would have been good.
Oh, if you guys are down for a drinking stream, that sounds funny.
I'd be up for a drinking stream sometime.
Yeah, I'll get my wine out. Sipples of wine. I can't do shots. I actually get really sick from shots. It sucks.
Look, Angel, you are already a danger to yourself. You don't need shots.
I have stories I haven't told that I will save for the next time that will also make you guys be like, why are you stupid? And I'll be like, hee hee.
Oh. You're wrapping your head around the I one. I'm still wrapping my head around burger redislocation or relocation.
Look, it worked. That's all that
The
matters.
healing Borgor.
Healing
The
Berber.
healing burger.
Healing Berber.
Burger.
Burger. So, wine and burgers is what I'm hearing for the next.
Wine and burger.
It's a weird mix.
Hawaiian and burgers.
Only. Oh, I love Hawaiian burgers.
Oh.
Ooh.
You know, it is only the
Pineapple
most
burger.
refined.
Oh yeah, we have to get Artemis the life alert before the next stream.
Oh my god. Why do I don't need a life alert?
I think you need a life alert. Fifi, does he
Look,
need a
I
life
have-
alert? I need you to back me up here.
What I need is Artemis to have new asset added to his model, and it's a life alert hanging in the middle of his chest right there.
There's just a life alert just clipped onto that like crystal in the center, the middle red one. It's just clipped there.
Look, everyone already calls me an old man. If I get the life alert, I am doomed. I am forever cooked.
It's
You
too
know,
it's too perfect.
I just now noticed something about you, Artemis.
What's that?
Why do you have no nipples?
No nipples. No nipples.
Secret technique, hidden nipple.
Why does your nipple recede into your
Oh.
chest? Does the skin like overlap? Do you like grow the skin and then rip the
Look.
skin off on demand? Like how does that work? I need to know the science.
Look, I'm just saying, Twitch banned me before I even streamed once, so I didn't want to take chances.
No, that's completely valid. But I still get to tease you for having weird skin-covered nipples.
He has nipple patches on. That's
Okay.
it.
No,
Just take it off.
I think the skin grows and like recedes on command.
I cannot believe you. You are making fun of my nipples.
Yep.
You know what? No nipple for
Show
you.
nipple.
No nipples for you. I'm more interested in how the skin regrows.
He just has
Look,
a little bit
I'm-
of a pasty on there. Look, you can
Look,
kinda
I
see
am a
the
god.
outline.
Look, it's just a little minor shapeshifting, you know.
Little minor
Like little
shape.
minor shapeshifting. It's like, you know, if I can do all of this, surely a little nipple finagling is not out of my repertoire of possibilities.
Yo, I like
He's gonna go find
the
a
hair
Navy
toggle.
seal.
Oh, he's gonna go find a Navy SEAL. The Navy SEAls in chat all start sweating. They're like, fuck,
Welcome
he's gonna
to the
show up at my
hunt.
window. All right, well, it's basically 9. So I do think we should start to wrap up the segment. And Fifi, you gotta go finish up your cupathon, BB girl.
Yep, this is the end stretch.
Do you have
That's true.
any fun plans for the closure?
We're gonna have a pizza party.
Yeah! Has the pizza been ordered? The one with the gummy worms and pineapple.
What?
Oh, you weren't in call yet!
Ordered.
The
It's
what?
not been ordered.
I need this thoroughly documented. Like thoroughly documented.
I don't even know if it's gonna allow me to order gummy worms on.
Look, worst case scenario, you just tell them to DoorDash some on the side and then you put them on yourself. Like, but get the sour ones.
I'm not gonna lie, this is making me really want to order pizza.
What? How is gummy worm pizza what actually makes you want pizza? That should have steered you away. It should have had the opposite, like, negative reaction.
Look, I've had death pizza before.
Death
That's
pizza?
nothing compared to
What's death pizza?
triple of every single possible topping from one store on a pizza.
That sounds terrible. That sounds like a terrible time.
I
Honestly,
would not want that.
it's not bad. It's I will say, one slice is an entire meal.
I already don't eat that
Yeah,
much
that adds
pizza
up.
as it is. My favorite is the Alfredo pizzas. I really like the ones
Those
with the
are good.
Alfredo and the garlic sauce.
What were we gonna say, Fifi?
Freddy pizza's good.
Hmm.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm running on autopilot.
When your cupathon's done, you're gonna take like a week off or something, right? You're gonna take some time to reset and heal.
Oh,
and
yeah.
rest up. Good.
Oh yeah.
Good.
I'm
Good.
after tonight. I'm not gonna be on until next Friday. Like
Good.
literally.
Good.
yeah, you're
good,
gonna
good.
take a good long break.
And give your PC time to heal itself as it's Mm.
God, your PC. Your
God, your PC, yeah.
And I'll think about Detective Fifi.
Detective Fifi!
Detective Fifi.
That is an easy way to my heart. That'd be so cute. That'd be so cute. I love detective looks. They're great. They're fantastic. They're the best.
Detective Fifi would be so cute.
Detective Fifi would cook very hard.
What about you? What about you, Angel?
Oh, me? Oh, well, I already know what my next outfit's gonna be.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I used to have a long time ago, there was an alternate form on my channel that chat really loved that was a bit darker in nature that I then retired for like 3 years, and I've been thinking maybe it's time to bring it back. But like
Oh.
new and refreshed.
Mm.
Most of chat's gonna be able to piece together what I'm saying without me saying it for those that were here in the old days. Well, that's a comment. I just got a YouTube comment that just out of nowhere goes, I cut my entire toe open once. Just period. I did that once. That was a thing that happened.
I think my next outfit is going to be Fifi's PC.
Oh my god.
Someone said spitting out dust while Wolf in the grave.
Oh my god.
It's doing its best.
It's trying. I mean, subathons are hard to begin with, but if your PC's been pushing it for a while, that try.
I think the funny thing is, I think a subathon is the reason why I stopped using that PC as well.
Oh, the cycle continues.
A subathon killed my original PC.
Oh no.
It overheated and
damn.
died.
The cycle comes back again.
Yeah.
It's one by one.
Oh yeah, we
the
broke
PC.
OBS day one.
No way. Oh no.
Okay, so I had never seen this on OBS ever, and actually, strangely enough, it hasn't happened in a while. But first like 3 days or so, I kept seeing encoding overloaded.
Oh
severely.
no.
No.
Oh no. I'm glad that you guys were able to fix it post day one. That sucks.
Yeah, no, I'm glad. Like, here's the thing. At the end of the day, you made it here.
Mm-hmm.
You are on day 8.
Mm-hmm.
You might even be at 9,000 cups already. And
Yeah.
we may not know.
Chat 9,000 cups. Chat.
Shrug shoulders.
Chat.
It shrugs
Chat.
shoulders.
Chat. Chat more cups. You want more cups, chat. Buy the cups, chat. You want
No,
to
you don't,
buy
'cause
the
I
cups.
don't want to meet my last
You
goal.
wish to purchase the
Wait,
cups.
hold on, wait. I need to look at your goal list again. Where is it?
Rule of thumb: the last goal is always the one the streamer doesn't want. And also, rule of
Pretty
thumb:
much.
you guys always get the last goal. That's just how it is. You gotta do it.
Yeah, hold on. Where
Please.
can someone help me find where the goal is?
I think
The goals
someone
are.
dropped
Why
it
do
in
you want to
chat.
know?
Is it in? Okay, wait. Is
Oh
this
no,
it?
it's here.
どこか
Hold on.
Please don't tell him, please. I beg of you.
Oh, I can't do it. She's begging me. She's begging me, and I'm weak to begging. I can't. Sorry, can't help you now.
I have one gold pack and V card, and if I hit the last goal, I have to open it. I want to keep it
Oh
sealed.
shit.
That will end up worth so much if you keep it sealed. So I'm like,
I know.
no,
what
I'm
are you
on
gonna-
your side.
Are you gonna sell the 1 pack?
I mean-
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna get it graded.
Oh, you're gonna get
Smart
it
something.
graded.
Maybe.
Oh.
I'm not sure how that works with pack.
I think you can technically get packs graded.
Mhm.
It just depends on if the companies accept the card game.
Oh,
Mhm.
Like,
that's
'cause, like, you
gonna be
can get-
harder for V cards probably because it's so new to the market.
That's true.
Yeah.
I
Put
also
on like a little stand.
Yeah, I just finally got to learn about if I did well on my polls in V card.
I still
got
haven't
one.
actually gotten any. I need to.
Oh, girl.
Don't look at me like that.
We're looking at you like that, very carefully.
I can't see your eyes. They're covered by a mask. So actually, I'm just gonna pretend you're not looking at me. Because if I can't see it, clearly it's not happening.
Angel, I'm sending you something in the chat.
No.
Hold on.
I kind of expected to still see Artie's damaged eye.
Oh my! Oh, is that just living in your brain?
Rent free. I still can't figure it out. Like I'm the kind of person that will obsessively think about something until it makes sense. It has to make sense. It doesn't make sense. I cannot figure it out, and I don't like that, and that's irritating me even more.
I honestly, I genuinely don't know how that worked.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever get the answer to that one. And I don't know how we would even begin to test that, because eyelids are so, like, particular. And I don't want anyone to be like, okay, I'm gonna put my face near this door and just start slamming it and see what happens. Like, that just seems like a bad time. Yeah, smash Fifi goal!
I don't want to open it.
Defeat that goal.
Fifi needs all the support and love. She deserves.
No, you guys do.
No, you work
Fifi
so
just-
hard.
Wolf job.
Wolf job.
Wolf
Wolf
job.
with jobs.
Look, wait, did you say? Wait, what did you just say?
Wolf with jobs.
Oh, wolf with jobs. Oh,
What did you hear?
nothing
You
at
fucking
all.
hear, old man. You fucking perverted old man. What did you hear?
I
Fucking hentai.
hentai じゃないよ.
え、誰俺を誰だと思ってやがれ。エンジェル。
何ですか？
日本語わかりましたから、それはひどいよね、エンジェル。
ひどいじゃ
I'm so
ない。
sorry.
Oh, bless you, buddy. Okay, buddy. Poor little dude. He's got there was some sort of cat flu going around my house. Which is strange because all my cats are indoor only, so we have no idea how it got in. But he's taken it the worst. He ended up having like bronchial pneumonia, and so he's on new antibiotics and whatnot. He's just so snotty, and it's so sad.
We protect him.
Protect.
My baby. Kibbies don't deserve this.
No, they don't. No,
I
they
didn't even
don't.
know cats could get like flus. Like I didn't know this was a thing.
Well,
Oh yeah, cat colds.
Mhm.
Well, I'm like, animals aren't just like immune to sick.
Well, no, but I just
I'm kidding.
it's such a human presenting cold is what I mean. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. I was used to them getting like tummy sick and behaving the way sick animals typically do, where they hide away and you don't really know what's wrong, but you know something's wrong.
Mhm.
But this is just such a human behavior that it threw me off. That's all.
Aw.
Baby. I don't remember
little
what we were
guy.
talking about. It's completely left me. I feel like I was yelling at you about something.
You weren't yelling at me about anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Use
I
code
feel-
Wolfjaw.
Use code. Use code Angel.
Fucking segue. No, use code Fifi.
No, use code Fifi.
Yeah, code Fifi. Code
No, use code
Fifi. But yeah, I should probably start setting up for repo crowd control, which I'm really terrified of, so I'm kind of procrastinating.
I was gonna say
Oh,
repo
no.
crowd control. How does that work?
So I actually haven't curated my list, but the TLDR is chat is able to summon grenades and all the enemies and all the items you can imagine. There's probably some sort of kill everyone button. I haven't checked. Usually I curate the list beforehand, but I really wanted to set up the overlays and everything for our collab, so I didn't curate anything. So I need to do that.
I see. I see.
It's gonna be
Spoil
so
your
bad. It's gonna be so bad. I'm so fucking scared. I'm gonna be
Wait,
so
bad it's
dead.
good.
You're going to do wonderful.
No, I'm not.
Okay, you're going to
No,
do
you're gonna do
wonderfully
great.
terrible.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it'll
there's
still be
literally a
wonderful.
button that just says hurt player.
Per player.
That's great.
I feel
That's
like
great.
that's just a crowd control of life.
Yeah. They can also summon weapons, and it looks like every enemy under the sun, so They can also just teleport you wherever the fuck they want. They'd be like, haha, button. Like, this is gonna be such a bad time. I'm not excited about the next 2 hours. But I shall let you two go be free and enjoy your days and your nights. And, you know, I'll make sure that Trey hooks you up with an appointment to get your life alert, old man.
I am a young 32,000. Thank you very much.
That sounds like a lot, but I guess as an angel, I really shouldn't be judging you. My
You,
number's
you
gotta
are-
be around
you're
there
basically
somewhere.
ageless, aren't you?
No, yeah, but yeah. Sorry, did you say something?
おばあちゃん。
Oh, you bitch. Shut your face. Fifi's the only normal aged human in the current situation.
I'm the girl who finally was able to move on from the Taco Bell dumpster.
Oh no, not the Taco Bell dumpster.
But we love Taco Bell, and you probably got a lot
Taco
of free
Bell
Taco Bell
aftermath.
in the Taco Bell dumpster.
True.
I'm getting hungrier and hungrier.
I know.
Yeah, I'm ordering my pizza right now.
Yo, can I have a
would kill for
slice?
some food. I would not eat that pizza, even if it was offered. I wouldn't do it.
Look,
I know,
I've
the-
had worse things.
Green beans? You
I
said
like
green
green
beans earlier, right? On a
Green
pizza?
beans.
Beans.
Ugh.
Or whatever ingredients I can get.
I mean, green beans sounds fine.
See, I actually hate green beans. It's like one of the few vegetables that I like absolutely loathe. Broccoli? Yay! Green beans? No.
You know what's weirdly good on pizza?
Hmm.
Shrimp and corn.
Yeah, I see that.
Japan
I have-
pizzas hit different.
I can only
I've
imagine.
never heard of that.
The closest thing I can think of is like okonomiyaki. I've never thought of like a pizza.
Okonomiyaki.
I love
久しぶり
okonomiyaki.
だな。
There's so few places out here where you can get it, and most of it's like super Americanized and kind of crappy.
You know what? Next, we'll have a food tier list.
Oh
what
my
we'll do.
god, yes.
Yes.
But we have to make sure we
I'm
have
down.
food on hand or we're gonna lose our fucking minds 30 minutes into it.
True.
God, that's too real.
You have no idea how much I fantasized about burgers once I was
I'm over here explaining my story and now it's just damn.
I was like,
burgers.
I would so order a burger right now if not for the pizza party.
You know,
I could
I'm-
go for a burger right now.
I forget about the healing burger.
I don't need to restore my jaw though. This will just be a regular burger, but hey, you know, healing burger always on the horizon.
I'm really hoping that you just get fan art of healing Berber, of like you, like the holy Berber healing you of your wounds.
And the problem is now is whenever I'm sick, people are gonna be like, send her burgers, and I'm gonna be like, but I can't stomach eating right now, and burgers are gonna show up at my door, and I'm gonna be like, fuck, and then I'm gonna eat the burger, and my body's gonna be like, you idiot, and reject it. Like, it's gonna be a bad time, I can tell. I've set myself up for failure. Why are you teeheeing?
I'm just teeing.
Do I have to be of fear? I'm gonna have Fifi delivered burgers. A wolf's gonna show up at my door holding a Burger King bag with Fifi's name on the receipt, and I'm gonna be like, damn it, more burgers.
Burger.
You're gonna
Burger
eat
for
it.
madam.
You wouldn't decline food from Fifi.
No, I wouldn't. I would eat it with pride.
So you can trust me.
No matter the state, my jaw could be sewn shut and I would find a way.
All right.
Oh
Then
my
I shall
God.
take my leave and get out of
Yeah.
both your hairs for the night.
This
I
sounds
will also
good.
take my leave.
I will go yell at chat for a bit solo and then figure out how I'm gonna do crowd control because I didn't set up anything.
Good luck.
All right.
Thank you for joining me. Everyone give some love to Fifi and RT and follow them and love them and support them. Yes, please.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you
This was
for
a ton of fun.
joining. Yeah, it was great. I had a really good time.
Thank you so much for the invite. This was fun.
Yeah. We'll find more time just to do like, you know, injury stuff or just hangouts and streams that are fun.
I do like
Yes,
just I like yapping times with friends.
I just fucking love to talk. It's a problem. It might be an addiction.
Uh-oh. Oh yeah, not Gunmath saying don't get stabbed in the meantime.
Yeah, but dude, if you have a new stabbing story by the next one, I'm going to have a problem. You're gonna have 2 baby monitors.
Look, it's been like 6 years since I was last. Wait,
It sounds like you're
I think
overdue
6
for a
years.
stabbing.
I am not overdue for a stabbing.
I can't tell you what I've seen in the book of future events to come, but I am concerned for your future. And with that, I
Can't
shall
even.
take my leave. Farewell,
Bye.
everyone. Bye. All right. I gotta quickly hide a few things because they're obviously still on the screen. So we're gonna just hide there. Cool. Ignore the fact that the background got really HD all of a sudden. Yeah, ignore that. You see nothing. You see no. Oh, that's not the right menu. Hold on. I can do this. Quit collab. Aha! Ahem. I am not a fool. Kind of. Now I just have to get everything back. Hold on. Aha! And then I have to end the stream together. Hold on. End. Okay, everything should be back to normal. Did you guys have fun? Was that a fun segment? Was that now Angel with the news? It really does look like a news segment. Let me put a folder together real quick so I don't lose these scores. Because that would be nice to use for this one. Injury totals. I spelled that wrong, but that's okay. Yeah, we did go a bit off topic, but I think that was really nice. I think it's good when people kind of just like get along and have a decent time together, which was definitely the goal. And since everyone's cool with doing more, then I can expect that we can probably do any from 20 to 30 in a segment, and then I can try to schedule a day with them to do more. Hold on, let me... Oh, that's probably a bot. That is a bot. Okay. I saw a friend request come in and I was like, am I about to get yelled at by Artie's manager? I'll be honest, I didn't expect you to see you with Fifi, but fun as fuck. Artemis, Def, God tier host. The 3 streams I've seen with him hosting. He does a lot of event content. If you guys like specialty events, he's definitely someone that I highly recommend. And I love Fifi to death. I've been meaning to drag her into more stuff, but me and her both have busy syndrome, where we plan out our stuff to where every month is like fucked, and then it's really hard to find time to do stuff. I've known her for a while, and she's an absolute sweetheart. I really want to drag her into more things, but it's just finding time. I think I've spent the last month really trying to curate more events. We've got the Cult Meeting Mondays podcast coming up. The D&D podcast is getting started. I started doing the AMAs with Tane that I was going to bring new guests onto. So we're going to be seeing a lot more content kind of in this format where I'm bringing friends on and we're just kind of hanging out and we're talking about some sort of specific topic. And I like to try to introduce some sort of chat interaction to where you guys are telling us stories or giving us things to comment on. So I know that Tawny and I have to do our next AMA somewhat soon. That'll probably be the next one to be done, because the Cult Meeting Mondays, which if you guys aren't familiar with what that is, I'm starting a podcast up with Norma, and I'll be bringing other guests on as well that is going to focus on talking about the bizarre in the dark. So we're going to spend a few hours on Monday, sometime between like 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. CST, talking about specific cults, serial killers, missing person cases, and just weird sightings. The topics will kind of shift and rotate, and me and whoever my hosts are per segment will do our research prior to the show. And I do plan on converting those into like full actual podcasts that you can enjoy and listen to on other platforms. But we'll see. We'll see as we go. That one's starting in May. So the AMA will be next, and then based on what everyone's schedule is, I'll try to get Artie and Fifi together for a new date, ideally in like 3 to 4 weeks. But we'll see what everyone can do. It can be really hard to get everyone on the same page. But yes, the next thing that's happening is Crowd Control Repo. I have to figure out who all is playing. There's going to be a team of 6. I know Mooney's locked in. I was going to bring in like 2 tier 3s and 2 moderators based on who's free. And you guys will be able to do all kinds of stuff. But Rocket is actively sleeping on my arm and I don't want to disturb him. So this is kind of hard. You're good to go? Okay. All right. Let's start figuring out who the team is. I also want to grab a quick snack from the kitchen, so we are going to go on a proper BRB. During the BRB, there is 2 things that are going to be changing. So if you are watching via Twitter, or if you are watching via YouTube, know that the channel is changing. Or not channel, the URL is changing. There's a different waiting room for YouTube for Repo because I wanted to keep them separated. And for me to change the title on Twitter, I have to close it and reopen it, and I don't want it to say rating your injury stories this whole time. I submitted a story and a bonus story all in one post on the doc. Is that okay? Yes, it is. We'll rate them separately on the next time we do a stream like this, but no, it might be a hot minute. So yes, be ready to swap screens. If you are on YouTube, you should be auto redirected when I close it off to the correct one, okay? Alright, let's head to the...
Have you ever wanted to know what heaven feels like? Well, now you can with the Fourth Wall Angel Step store, featuring merch of all shapes and sizes. How about a hat for when it's cold out? We got that. Okay, well, how about a hat for when it's nice out? Okay, so maybe hats aren't your thing. Well, we got t-shirts of varying designs, like this flashy design right here. We also got...
Like this one!
How did you get... We also got rotating limited designs. We also have a Hawaiian shirt with a totally normal design. Okay, well, are you feeling eepy? Why not grab a comfy blanket? Wow, look at the size of that angel. And don't forget to grab yourself a pillow to make yourself extra comfy. We also got many rotating accessories, such as water bottles, desk mats, tank tops, mugs, stickers, hoodies, joggers, and more to come. Visit angelsteps-shop.fourthwall.com to view the collection or type !merch.